should be noted that we will have a Friday 5 o'clock Corner Pocket Bar and Grill Warchant happy hour. Sit back, relax, talk a little Florida State football, or not. Maybe we won't talk Florida State football. Maybe you wouldn't want to at this point. I don't know. You're just going to watch, if you're watching on Warchant TV, you're going to see a picture of me, a picture of Corey as caricatures. That's what you're going to see, and know me and Tom.
I'm going to mess around with it. Might be some George Clooney poking his head up over the horizon. There might be maybe the 150 special at warchant.com. We're going to billboard you to death till we get this camera back.
We'll get the camera back working. I'm pressing buttons. Everybody. That's how you know it's going to work. I'm pressing buttons. Hey, by the way, everybody, you're welcome. Did you do it? Did you do the right thing? You see it up there on the screen? I took him on the money line as well as the 3.5 last night for the NFL and a fairly predictable close game / the road team, especially road favorites this year, on Thursday nights do not fare well. And we got a fun football game, because who amongst us that's grown up watching football doesn't absolutely love a snow game? I was so hoping for it. Yesterday I pleaded that, hey, listen, whatever you do, Jameis, less than 2, and we're going to get this win. Less than 2 picks, and we're going to get this win. And we got the less than 2 picks from Jameis Winston, just the one interception. And by the way, Tom, that interception was like an Andrew Luck interception. Andrew Luck used to have a thought and a theory that, third down long, chuck it deep. It's like a punt. If it gets picked off, who cares? If everything breaks down, try to make a play deep. It was smart. I always thought it was smart. So really, Winston didn't even have one of those classic, ooh, what are we doing there?
Didn't see the linebacker, did you?
Yeah, it wasn't one of those. So it was great, and I got that win, and I was really pleased to start the weekend off the right way with a Cleveland Browns victory. That's not that I care anything about Cleveland, but the fact that I thought they'd fight, I thought they'd play hard, I thought there was an opportunity that we could get some money into our pockets to start the weekend, and we did, and that is a good thing. So that's where we're at right now. Off to a 1-0 start for the weekend. By the way, there was very quietly another game on last night that nobody watched, and it too was entertaining. I was trying to kind of go back and forth. We had the ACC giving us a little old school Thursday night love, where I used to talk on the regular about, man, you don't want to be on the road on a Thursday night. You remember back in the days when we got good games on Thursday night with college football before the NFL ruined that? We used to get really good games on Thursday. Yes.
Somewhere between 2 and 5 a year that had real impact on the BCS or the playoffs.
Oh, it was huge. Yeah. It's huge. Yeah, I remember back in the day being like, man, we'd have a blast with it. But that's all long since gone the way of the dodo. I miss those days, though. I really do. I wish I wish, frankly, that it wasn't that way, that you could still see some good games. This would have qualified, I suppose, in that category. You would have been like, all right, well, it's a NC State, Georgia Tech could be interesting. Turned out to be a great game. I don't know if you watched any of that or not, or if you were watching 7-6 touchdown and an extra point hockey for our Lightning last night.
Yeah, that's a classic case of a backup goalie. And
do all backup goalies suck as bad as the Lightning's?
If you have an elite goalie, yes, because that means that salary cap
wise, so you're not spending any money on anybody.
$50 on his backup.
Yeah,
guy who probably played at TBSA, who's pretty good. Like, hey, let's give him $50,000.
Just like, I defer to you on that one. You have the in-depth hockey knowledge. I've got the cursory hockey knowledge. I watch nightly. I love it, but I'm not as locked in a team building the way that you are. We could argue that's right up there as your top sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've wanted to ask you for a couple of years now. Do all backup goalies suck as bad as ours suck?
No, but it really is. It's like having a young quarterback not on his free agent deal yet. You know, for example, the Rangers have an excellent situation because they haven't had to pay Igor yet. They're about to.
Right. So and that will change.
They have Quick behind him, who's phenomenal for. I mean, if you're talking about mileage per dollar, their backup situation is as good as it gets. Boston had a tandem, and they finally had to break away from the tandem. But if you've got a stud, you ain't paying a second guy. You got to spend that money on forwards.
Well, they're like, it's the dude cleaning the lockers that are backing up goalies in Tampa Bay over the last 10 years. Good Lord. Now, we've had a series of really good goalies, so it's like, all right, I get it. You know, Bishop and Bassi are pretty good.
Yeah. Right.
But, man, our backups for a protracted period of time can't stop a thing.
This is where drafting a young guy who can play would help you.
Yeah.
You know, but we like to do, hey, are you in a walk year and might you score 20 goals?
Mm-hmm.
How about a first-round pick? Let's send him that way and let's get the guy in the walk year. That's what mortgaging the future does for you.
I wanted to wake up this morning and say, all right, here we go. We got it. The announcement of the coordinators are here. It's weird. My patience runs thin on coordinator talk.
Yeah, it's funny. We had a talk this morning. Did anything happen? Is what you asked me. No, man, we still got 2 games to go. I don't think we're going to get an announcement.
I want an announcement today. Let's talk about the tangible. You know, this is a season unlike any other that I've ever covered at Florida State, and that most of us, unless you're really old, like Old Biscuit, most of us have not had this season in our life to deal with. Maybe in another sport, we've had a team that, you know, fell off a cliff and ceased to matter a third of the way through the season, which will hurt your feelings. Grand opening, grand closing for Florida State. By week 3, you were like, well, that's it. That's all. Thanks for playing, everybody. So what did that do? It compelled us to talk about the changes we knew were coming eventually and the changes we'd like to see. And we would continue to document the failures that lead to those changes. But that got old quick. There's only so many ways to say this guy's not any good. This segment group's not any good. There are more losses coming. Who should you fire? Like this, that we started doing that like week 4. And so I think I'm of the, you know, I'm a little edgy. I'm ready.
Yeah, testy.
I'm a little testy. I'm a little okay. I'm done. Charleston Southern. You want me to talk about Charleston Southern? I'm not going to do it. That's who they play. There you go. Talked about it. That's who they play. We did say yesterday that, you know, hey man, don't fool around and lose to Charleston Southern now.
Yep.
It's a different conversation.
This has been your breakdown of Florida State, Charleston Southern.
We got to do a pregame show tomorrow, and I don't know that I'm going to spend 5 minutes on Charleston Southern. And that's no disrespect to Charleston Southern. That's disrespect to us because we're going to be talking about, you know, which players are going to stay, which players they can wrangle in, what does it mean that you got the Oklahoma pledge? You got the kid from Kevin Sperry decides, I'm not going to go to OU, I'm going to go to Florida State. Well, what did we immediately do? Some of you went and looked at film with Kevin Sperry and went, who the hell is this kid? And then the rest of you did what I did, which is, is there a coordinator at Oklahoma on his way to Tallahassee? Is that how this just happened? Because that's the first thing you should think of.
Or a position coach.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's immediately what you did. You're like, oh, well, okay, this must mean, and I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of where your head went, was you immediately began to think about, I wonder if those coordinators or anything like that. Let me circle back for a second because we'll go to break and we'll get this camera thing fixed. I
can also use Lee if we need to really delve in, you know,
elbow
deep.
Well, we do have Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports today, so you're right. We could do that, and we will do that in the second segment, so we'll get it fixed. I actually know of a workaround, Tom. How about your boy over here already mapping it out, what we could do? I have an actual solution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why they call you Cameron MacGyver.
That's what they call me.
Yeah. It'd also be a name, I think, of probably the AJGA champion this year.
Cameron MacGyver?
Yeah.
It's a great name if your name's Cameron
It's
MacGyver.
a 36-hole final. He won it in 21. Cameron MacGyver is really going to be something.
Cameron MacGyver is a lot like Maverick McNeely.
Yep, that's it. That's right. It's got the same pentameter to it.
Yeah.
That kid's committed to Oklahoma State for sure.
Speaking of Maverick McNeely, he actually led at the end of yesterday, did he not? I think he did. I saw where Lashley got an extension at SMU. I thought Lashley might hold off, but you know what he's doing? He's getting into that SMU money, which is real money. SMU's like, oh, we're all in. We've pushed the chips in. You don't have to go anywhere, Mr. Lashley. We're good here at SMU. We are trying hard.
You know, guys, I hear that you love me, but I just want to know how much do you love me?
I'd really like to know that. By the way, speaking of which, McNeely actually leads currently the Sea Island.
Well, you know what? Get fat while you can, McNeely, because Cameron MacGyver is going to
He's
be
on
on
his
the pro
way.
tour. Yep.
He's on his way. A lot of interesting names in that tournament, just like there was last week. By the way, our own Luke Clanton, though, is 5 under and is in the top 10.
All right.
Another tournament for Luke, another amateur appearance for Luke, another tournament in which he will probably finish in the top 20 and not make a freaking penny. Luke.
As long as he...
Unbelievable the amount of money my man has just said no thanks to.
So it's interesting is I'm so excited about this season. They've come so close the last couple of years to winning a natty.
Oh, they were really close to winning the natty last year.
I wanted to see when the Seminole Intercollegiate is next semester.
Yeah.
And it's actually going to be played, the intercollegiate, at Glenarvan. It's not going to be played here at Legacy because there's a men's regional at Legacy this year. So you'll be able to see Luke Clanton play to advance the NCAA championships here locally in Tallahassee in May. That should be pretty fun. And that means that course is going to be brutal.
Oh, let's go. How much fun are we going to have? Well, they've got it set up. They have it so that you can play a PGA Tour event there.
Yeah,
I mean, they really have set it up. That you could make it as extremely difficult and long as you need it to be. I mean, they have the ability to send these guys back on tees that we don't even see.
Yes. I know where they are.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
Oh, you're like, forget about it. Who the hell is competing on this? The best.
I played the Dawn at 73, I think once 7,300, but it was a par 73. That extra shot means something.
Means something.
Means something.
Mm-hmm. Anyhow, Clanton is in the top 10 right now. I love watching that kid. I also love his commitment to Florida State, Trey Jones, and his teammates after last year finishing runner-up and saying, you know what? Nope, I'm coming back. Meanwhile, every time he tees it up on the PGA Tour, he makes the cut or finishes in the top 10, and he doesn't make any money. I got to believe, I don't know this at all. I have an ashtray. But, I mean, he's got to be independently wealthy. Like, his parents, I mean, they got to come from money, right? You can't be turning down, like, what would be now if we added up all of the money he could have made?
I mean, the Battle's End can give you some scratch, but nothing like...
I mean, we're talking about $1 million he would have made by now.
And this is where I don't know, a great question for Trey and for Luke, really, is, they still have amateur versus pro rules in golf, but with NIL in college, how does it all fit?
Yeah.
How does it all work?
Well, and there's a talk that all is going to go out the window anyhow because of exactly what you're describing. Yeah, well, it's not smart of the PGA Tour not to, yeah.
I remember when I was in high school and I had delusions that I was going to be playing somewhere, although Middle Tennessee did offer me
there you go.
illegally on the green at the regionals.
There you go.
Even though I was the 6 or the 7 on the team.
Middle Tennessee needed a guy.
Well, I could have played it like Evansville.
Yes,
I could have played.
You could have.
But they said, don't play in the Tuesday night men's league for cash. You can't accept it, or else you're going to lose your status.
Don't play in the Tuesday night men's league.
For real. Don't even play in the closest to the pins. Don't do it, because if it's a cash prize, you could lose your eligibility.
One winner every hour during the show today. In hour 1, I'll tell you, that's this hour, exactly how we're going to do it and what you're going to win. I'll do the same for hour 2 and hour 3. It's all about Dex a Day today. It's Dex a Day giveaway on a Libations Friday on the Jeff Cameron Show. It's also a day in which Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins the program. He'll do so next. We'll be back on camera. We'll get all of this righted. I know you want to see my handsome, striking good looks. I'll make sure it happens. Plus, Tom is like, he's on strike with me.
Yeah. Solidarity, brother.
I appreciate that. Clanton's 500. Here we go, Luke. I just pulled it up. He's having a day.
Got Soda Popinski today, too.
Oh, I forgot I wore that. I just picked the shirt to walk out this morning. Yeah, I do got Soda Popinski. It's a good shirt. It's Jeff Cameron Show. It's 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
Don't miss TSC Tuesdays every Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m. during the Greg Tish Show. Find out what's happening at Tallahassee State College every Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. on Real Talk 93.3 FM.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Foreman, you look so twisted. What did you do now?
Well, Hank the alligator needed his teeth brushed, and when I bent over to give him a scrub, my back popped like an afternoon lightning storm in Florida. And now I can't even stand up.
You need to go to benchiro.com and schedule your new patient appointment right away at benchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
I'm really busy. I don't want to leave Hank in the orange grove unattended for too long.
Ben Chiropractic will get you in right away, and they get to the cause of your problems. So go to benchiro.com and make your new patient appointment. There's even an online discount.
Discount? That's a good thing because my purse is a little light since I bought Hank a new gold chain.
You have to take care of yourself if you want to be able to take care of your alligator Hank. Make your appointment now. Go to benchiro.com.
Well, hold my pina colada. I'm going to benchiro.com.
Science-backed, technology-tracked, and coach-led. Hey, Jeff Cameron here. You've heard me rave about the benefits of Orange Theory Fitness and the proven track record of science-backed interval training. Well, now Orange Theory Fitness has done it again, adding more ways for you to improve your health and look your best. In addition to the always great standard workouts, OTF has added Tread 50 and Strength 50. For those in the mood to just lift for an afternoon or attack those cardio goals for the day. Take the guesswork out of exercise. Make sure you're getting the most out of each and every workout. Orange Theory Fitness, location Midtown Tallahassee and Village Square Boulevard.
Real Talk fact number 44. Burns 150 calories. This is Real Talk 93.3, Tallahassee's Real Talk station. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Libations Fridays, always fun, and also always time to gamble. We got off to a good start last night. I had the Cleveland Browns. Road Thursday night. It's tough for favorites. They struggle on the road every year. You get these Thursday night games. Lee, short week. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us right now. Hey, buddy, you're going to love this. I bet Cleveland money line. Didn't even want the 3.5. Didn't even want it.
You did it because of Jameis. You had to
You're
Well,
feeling it.
but actually, you know the trend, right? These teams on the road don't win on Thursday nights. These short weeks are killer.
It's short weeks are killer. They've been off a couple tough games.
Yep.
Pittsburgh has. So, yeah, I like – you know what? I just was afraid to pull the trigger. I wanted more. I wanted like 4.5, 5 points. So, I actually went the other game with NC State. Anyone
Good
can go
game
to
that nobody watched, by the way. That was a great game.
Well, you got 3 TVs. I was watching that, and my daughter was at the Blackhawks game in Chicago. So I was watching – those are the 3 games.
Where the hell did that come from? The Blackhawks beat Florida. That's a terrible loss for Florida. Terrible loss.
Terrible. But at least when you're with Chicago fans, it's not so bad.
No, they're great.
Listen, great fans.
Yeah, they're great fans.
So,
they're great fans.
yeah.
All right, what do we got? We got Colorado minus 2.5 against Kansas. This feels tricky to me. It feels weird to me. Colorado is a very good team. They've played very well lately. Kansas was snake bit all year. Then they go and they beat BYU. We know they're better than their record. Did they make this a game?
I think so. They're the best 4-6 team we maybe have ever seen.
Yeah.
They beat BYU last week, and they didn't even play well. Colorado, how about this, has not beaten a lot of teams in the top 25 that probably better than average chance are going to make the college football playoff, like Texas and Miami have not beaten a top 25 team.
Yeah.
Not even close. I haven't even played a team close to the top 25. Sometimes it's about a matchup, and Colorado has they have trouble against pretty good defenses. Kansas defense is underrated. Number 6 in interceptions. They got that interception right before halftime that changed the game around. And the Colorado offensive line allows the 8th highest sack rate. Kansas top 40 in sacks here. I love Travis Hunter, Shadur Sanders, but you got to have more than that. I think this game that's actually played in an Arrowhead. I think Kansas pulls the upset here, moves to 5-6, has a chance at bowl eligibility if they win also next week. Wrong team favorite, Kansas 35-30.
Wow. Lance Leipold's group getting it done. All right, well, this is the game for the committee that everybody has to see, and that is how bad does Ohio State beat Indiana, if they beat Indiana at all? But if they do, how bad is it? Because we're going to end up comparing a lot of resumes, and we're going to say about certain SEC teams, well, maybe they should get in over Indiana, who now has 1 loss, but they played one of the worst schedules in the whole country. If Indiana keeps this close, all of a sudden a team like Tennessee is screwed perhaps and things of that ilk. So talk to me about the 13.5 here with Ohio State and a banged-up offensive line.
Yeah. They did lose their center, All-American center, but did check the kid that's replacing him would probably start almost anywhere else. So it's not like it's that big a loss. So the line's down to 10 now. Public is playing Indiana. If they lose by 7 or less, I think they deserve to be in the college football playoff. Even though they haven't played a great schedule, they've dominated almost every single game except for Michigan. Here's a crazy stat. The last 14 times an undefeated and top 5 team has been a double-digit underdog. That undefeated underdog, 0-14 against the spread, 0-14 straight up, 5-9 against the spread.
Yeah.
So usually they're that big of an underdog for a reason. I love Indiana's offense, love their head coach, Kurt Cignetti, but their defense hasn't faced even a top 40 offense. Check this out. So the only top 60 offenses they faced were number 44 Maryland, who's okay, and Washington, who's 58, and that game was at home, and Washington, I don't think, has won a game when they traveled east. They played offenses like FIU, Western Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Charlotte, who already fired their head coach. Northwestern, who you could give them 6 downs every time they get a first down, and they couldn't score. And Nebraska, who already fired their offensive coordinator in both Michigan schools. I think their defense is going to implode here. Ohio State, I think, has the best 1-2 punch at running back and 1-2 punch at receiver. I think those guys are going to make some plays here. I think it's too much of a major step up here for Indiana on the road. I'll take Ohio State 38-17.
We're together on this. I'll tell you what, the Florida Gators have not stopped playing hard. They play hard for that guy. Napier saved his job. This has a quirky feel to it. Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss catches a break. It's a noon game, minus the 10. What do you say?
So about matchups also here. Florida hasn't faced a dual threat quarterback to start the game. Now, a couple have come in during the game, but I think they're susceptible to a dual threat quarterback. Jackson Dart, 3,100 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, running the football, 300 yards, over 303 touchdowns. So looks like he's going to get back. I'm hearing Trey Harris, his home run hitting wide receiver, and they're hot. I mean, except for Lane Kiffin just imploding, which he does every 4 or 5 games. He just has a game where he blows up, he falls behind, starts gambling. They're right now playing the best football of anyone. Now, Florida, give them credit. Even though I was not a fan early in the season, I said they should keep Billy Napier, and they did. And what happened? Well, they ended up being rewarded 2 big upsets. They ended up beating Kentucky and LSU last week, but maybe the most underrated part of Ole Miss is their defense. Their run defense allowing just 2.2 yards per carry. And Florida likes to run the ball. If Florida can run the ball, and they can get into 2nd and 4. That's where they're effective. Their quarterback, though, Lagway, not 100%. He's banged up a little bit. So he's more of a stationary passer right now. And if Ole Miss can put him in 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8 situations, how about this? Ole Miss, number 1 in sacks in the country, 46 here. I like Ole Miss. I think they pull away 34-16.
2 NFL games. One of them I love, which is Baltimore and the Chargers. We can say whatever we want about Harbaugh, but he's a good coach, man. And that Chargers team is different. They play different now. They're physical. They play very good defense, obviously. And Herbert's got to be in heaven, right? Because he gets rewarded in the run game. It's 2nd and 5. He's throwing off a play action, and he's exploiting people. This is a great game. Who you got given the 3 with Baltimore?
All right, so got the Har Bowl. And, if you can get a field goal, and I'm seeing a lot of 3s out there with a team that has the better defense. Chargers have the better defense. Baltimore secondary is trash.
Yes.
So get a team with a better defense, allowing just 14 points per game. And I think the blueprint is out there how to stop this Baltimore offense was laid out by Pittsburgh. I think you're going to see Jim Harbaugh follow it. And then also I think the receivers, very underrated. They've improved maybe more than any receiving crew in the NFL this year. They're running good routes, getting separation, also holding on to the ball. So I think you take the points here. I'm going with Jim here over his brother John, 20-16.
Bucks are off a bye. The schedule is doable. The Falcons just fell on their face at Denver. There's an outside shot, just like last year, that if the Bucks can win, 4 of 5, 5 of 6 here down the stretch, they're back in the playoffs. They could backdoor this thing, but they got to beat the Giants, who will go to their 3rd string quarterback for this game. Hey, it's a promotion night, right? What are we doing here? Yeah. So who you got with the Bucks giving 6? We do get Evans back. Yeah.
Evans, getting him back is huge. They were scoring when they had both receivers. So getting one of the 2 top receivers is huge. I understand that Danny Dimes was not great, but I mean, they just don't want to pay him when you put him as a 4th-string quarterback. So he should be the backup. Kid they have playing is just not a player here. He can't push the ball down the field enough, doesn't have the arm strength or the experience here. I think the Giants are tanking here. 2-8. You don't see many teams other than Cleveland, playing that. That was a interdivision game they got up for in the snow. I think the Giants are going to lay down here. I think Tampa Bay's special teams might also be the difference here. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. Not a high-scoring team right now, not yet, but I think they get the job done. I think they win this something like 24-14.
So your free play for everybody out there, we'll tell them how they can get it in a second. I love this game because 25 is a lot, and that's not a great Miami defense. Miami minus 25 against Wake. I don't know what Wake would have to score to avoid the 25. What, 17, 21? How can folks get that game?
Yep. It's going to be interesting. We're going to see if Miami has designs on winning the ACC championship, they better come out and dominate. If they don't, they're going to be in trouble playing at Syracuse and then playing in Charlotte probably against SMU, which has playmakers. So going to be interesting to see if they can get the defense going like they played fairly well the first couple games, but since then, not so well. So Cam Ward maybe still in the Heisman Trophy running. You want to get this game. First 5 callers get it for free. Call 800-400-9741. We'll give to the first 5 callers. 800-400-9741. Get this game for free. And how about this? My college football game of the year goes on Saturday. 50-unit max wager.
Send the text.
Yeah.
Send the text.
You want to get it now. And 50 units on our 40 to 50 units historically, 70 and 26 lifetime. So we've had 245 units so far this year, both winners. First 50 unit, and it's a college game of the year on Saturday. You want to purchase it, just $97. Or you can get 2 weeks of action on our phone service where you're going to get 10 to 12, 10 to 14 games a week, where we rate the games from 10 to 50 units, just $197. And that goes all the way through Monday, December 2nd. So ParamountSports.com if you want to hop on. Could be a really good week for us. And or you can always call the number here at the office, 800-400-9741. And I'm going to leave you with one more stat. How about this? So my daughter is singing the national anthem for the Bears.
Right.
On Sunday. When she sings the national anthem for the home team, they are 14-0 against the spread lifetime. She sang for the Bears last year when I think it was Tyson Bagent was the quarterback, and they won. They upset the Raiders. That started their winning streak. She sang for NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. She sang for the Marlins a couple times, for even the Charlotte Hornets, and every single team is covered. So hint, maybe you want to take the Bears plus 3.5 on Sunday.
They're playing the Vikings. They're in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. Your daughter is awesome, but the streak ends this weekend.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll see.
Well, you'll see it. It'll be fun.
As a Bucs fan, you could use the Vikings to lose. So
I know.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you see some strange things happening,
jump on with the live betting. Yeah,
jump on. If they look good, right? They looked good last week. Should have won the game.
Should have won the game. Well, that's the story of the Bears for the last 25 years.
Yep.
Be good, Lee. Good talking to you, brother. All right.
Take care.
Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us every Friday. We love it. Those games, we'll go back over them here in just a moment. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Sunny skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 60. Northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, 40. Sunny skies tomorrow, highs around 64. Ample sunshine and dry Sunday and Monday, low 70s. Sunday, mid 70s by Monday. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. And lawn care needs. Visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 57 degrees.
What do you need tires on? Your car or truck, tractor, or heavy equipment? At Nice Tire and Auto Service, we have tires for all these needs. And we service your vehicle from air conditioning and computerized alignment to oil changes and everything else under the hood. Call Nice Tire and Auto today at 574-4100. That's 574-4100 for your scheduled maintenance. National accounts welcome at Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Enterprises, roofing and construction services. TSparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-134. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. TSparkConstruction.com.
CCC 1331204.
Siri, tell me a joke. I once stayed up all night wondering where the sun went, and then it dawned on me.
All jokes aside, the trained professionals at Mac & More Systems are serious about Apple products. For all your Mac repairs, call Mac & More Systems at 894-3622. 894-3622.
Pinch a Penny Pools has 12,000 square feet of hot tubs, over 20,000 gallons of tub capacity to choose from. That's 4,620,000 cubic inches of hot tubs. But if you don't want to take my word for it, check them out yourself. Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas, locally owned, and the easiest way to find relaxation at home.
There is no Bigfoot, Eddie. Would you stop with that nonsense?
There's a Bigfoot, Jeff.
I wish there were. By the way, I don't want you to point to me as the guy that takes all the fun out of the room. I wish there was the Loch Ness Monster. I wish there was the Bigfoot. I wish there was the Chupacabra. All the things.
They're all mythical except for the Bigfoot. The Sasquatch.
The Bigfoot?
The Bigfoot. There's big feet. There's lots of them.
So like different, breeds, like different kinds.
There's like, families. There's different families. And,
so if they're in the snow, you call them a Sasquatch.
Or the Yeti. Right,
yep,
and then here in Florida, that's a skunk ape, and I've
never heard that one. By the way, why do you think it's real? We would have found them by now.
They're the hide and seek champions of the world. Nobody finds the Bigfoot.
I think you believe in Bigfoot.
I do believe in Bigfoot.
You don't believe.
I believe in Bigfoot.
Don't tell anybody you believe in Bigfoot.
I would go look for Bigfoot, but he scares me.
Florida, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
So it's just weird if you're watching now on StreamYard. We got to tilt it. What are we doing there? Are we good to go?
Now we debut it. Look at you. You look like a streamer.
Man, that's a lot. That's too much of me. It's just a lot going on there. We have to zoom that out.
I think there is a zoom function. I'm going to walk in there. So
yeah, we're going to zoom that out is what we're going to do. That seems like an awful lot. By the way, if that happens, where Lee Sterling's daughter sings the national anthem and the Bears pull off the upset against Minnesota, after looking like death. No, you just couldn't.
Let's see if there's a middle one.
Let's see. Yeah, there you go. There we go. It's great radio, everybody. Great radio as we mess with all the settings on the cameras in here. And see, it's all part of the nonsense. There was a day where I could just go in and we could just do radio. Mike was right there. You sat down. You didn't worry about people on a video feed. I'm not complaining. It's been good for the business. Going multimedia is good.
You're wearing a wife beater with pit stains.
I can wear no pants. Back in the day, I could walk in and whatever. Still can. But yeah, now it's going to be documented. There's no getting around that. All right. So I mentioned a moment ago and I dropped it.
What did you drop?
The sheet I need to make sure everybody wins. Jot this down, guys. This is actually, really, all jokes aside, a great deal. We're going to do it for each of the 3 hours today, one every hour during the show. You are to text DEXA, that is DEXA. Text DEXA to 850-386-8255, and that will be your enter to win a free DEXA Scan Plus red light therapy session. Normally about $200. You're going to get it for free if you're the winner today. Once again, text the word DEXA, DEXA, to 850-386-8255. Knock that sucker out. If you're watching on Warchant TV and you didn't get that number, Tom just posted it right there. DEXA, 850-386-8255. Did you watch the Cleveland game last night?
Bits and pieces. I was asleep by 9:15, I'd say. It caught up with me. I've been up late this week, but finally it was an early night. It was curtains.
Let me tell you, that was so fun. The little kid in me, the 8 and 9 year old wearing jerseys, playing in the backyard with my brothers, dreaming one day of playing in a snow game, dreaming one day where it could get cold in Florida. I remember at Lakewood, we had one game. Same when I played like in Pee Wee football and junior football. Like there would be one game a year where you could dream of being in a scenario that kind of felt like last night, where it would get down to the 30s or something like that. And you'd take the field and you thought that is what football weather should be. I've always been jealous when we get to the fall and, you remember the Pam Ward noon special, everybody, where you're watching the Big Ten and you tune in and it'd be late September, early October, and they would scan the stands before the kickoff, and you'd see people in their sweatshirts and their
You
pullovers.
see their breath. Yeah.
Man, that looks freaking awesome. I talked about that Nebraska-Colorado game I went to all those years ago in Lincoln with my buddy who's a Nebraska grad, and that was incredible. I mean, we're wearing sweaters, drinking red beers at 9 a.m. You could see your breath. It was nuts. Good times.
Yeah, it's we would lie to ourselves where we grew up that frost was the same as snow.
Right.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. But Jameis handled it well, and he's already kid-like. So when he was kid-like before the game, doing the interview down on the field, talking about, I just want to thank God for letting me play in a football weather game here. It was, you could tell, I mean, if you're going to lose games, as the Cleveland Browns did for much of this year, wouldn't you just much rather lose with that guy? Now, they won last night. He's already doubled Deshaun Watson's win total, and he's done it in 4 starts.
No, he's doubled his alma mater's win total in 4 starts.
That's true.
And who are the 2 wins against?
Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And he was great in the Baltimore game, and he was good enough last night. But, it's a snow game. James never played in the snow. That was incredible. And he did, after the game, what I would have done and what I think little kids all around the country dreaming of the moment of playing in a game like that would want to do. Lay down and make your snow angels after a win. How great is that? To go along with how easily marketable that guy is now, you've watched it all transform. He's jogging. Now, this is smart, and I know it's just off the cuff, but it's smart on his part, whether he intentionally did it or not. Did you see the clip of him jogging? I ordered a win off of Amazon.
Yeah.
It's going to get here around 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It works well. And if you're Amazon, you're like, you got an opportunity.
That's like when our band, they still do it, and I would nix it. But when they would play the Sports Center little ditty, we can
stop doing that.
Yeah, we can come up with something new. But when they did it in the beginning, you're like, smart. There you go.
Yeah, you'll get everybody
more exposure.
Everybody figured it out.
Well, the truck wants to pan over to the Chiefs a little bit more, which increases. It's a very smart move. You use the network that you're on. It's what the people used to do with the bed sheets. They would do the acronyms with ABC and Fox, and they, always da 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 da.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you, I never wanted to be a wide receiver in cold weather, though. I never wanted to be somebody who had to catch that thing. And you wouldn't want to be a kicker in cold weather. I'm always amazed at how kickers, like the guys that are consistent when the weather turns, when we get deep into the season, it's a snow game in Baltimore and your boy's out here kicking a 57-yard. That thing is steel. You ever caught a football in the freezing cold? It hurts if you don't catch it correct.
I wonder what they do in that situation, the kicker specifically. Extra socks to insulate the foot from the thud?
I wouldn't think so. I think you just got to practice in it, man. I mean, I grew up in an era where it was really popular for people to be barefoot kickers. You remember all that? You remember that?
Barefoot kickers?
Oh, my God. Go back.
No socks or anything?
Oh, just straight barefoot. They wanted to feel the ball.
Okay.
Wow. Every now and again it happens. Not as often as I would have thought years and years ago, but it does happen where our age difference, some little thing will be pointed out. I'm like, he doesn't know. He didn't see it.
Like NFL kickers?
Tons of barefoot kickers.
What?
Yes. During the break, I will show you the list of barefoot kickers.
That's all right. I'm not Rex Ryan. I believe you.
By the way, Rex Ryan handled that well. His interview afterwards, a month ago with Ryan Clark, they brought up the feet thing on the podcast. He's like, hey, listen, I wish that hadn't come out, but that is my thing. It's my fetish. I like feet. I love my wife's feet. I'm not apologizing. Well, it's the right thing to do.
Good for him.
He's like, it's my thing. I like feet.
Stand tall on that.
Yeah, he's like, I've got good, if you got good feet, it turns me on. My wife's got great feet. I like them. I was like, all right, man. Gotcha. But you can't run from that once you've been caught.
You can if you're the interviewer. You're like, okay, all right.
No, Ryan loved it. They're friends, so they were going laughing back and forth.
Let's pivot.
No, but
I like elbows, coach.
Okay.
All right.
The barefoot kicker was very much in vogue. It was a thing. I remember guys, hell, I played against a barefoot kicker in a game. You'd see him come out. You'd be like, oh, we got a barefoot guy tonight. And most of the people that kicked barefoot kicked just as well as anybody with a shoe. Like you wouldn't do it otherwise. The coach would be like, put a shoe on, ass. You know, I caught it.
Clown.
Yeah. But no.
So what happens if there's the chaos of a block? They get stepped on? I'm sure that had to have happened at least once.
I don't remember it ever happening. I'm sure it did. I don't remember anybody having their foot stepped on and that becoming a thing. But
if we block it,
stomp on Jerry's foot.
He's the best in the league. We step on him.
But yeah, barefoot kickers were a thing for a long time. And then they just kind of went away. I think people were like, this isn't, you got the shoe. You might as well wear I think his shoes got better, Tom, as the equipment got better. And you could, I don't know why. Now, my brother I told you, one of my brothers was a very, very good kicker. College scholarships, that kind of thing to go play.
And you always thought he was a lesser person.
I called him soft every chance I could. Mm-hmm. I said I was a real football player. He kicked. And I brought it up all the time because he was my older brother. So I'd love to bring it up. And I'd be like, some of us play sports, some of us kick. But anyhow, things like that. But to his credit, he was a good kicker. And he had scholarship offers to many schools, including Iowa, other places, but he wanted to be a marine biologist, so you weren't going to go out to Iowa to be a marine biologist. So he ended up playing goalie at JU. He was a soccer goalie. So the point is, I used to ask him all the time, like, would you ever kick barefoot? And he said, I have, just to see what it felt like. But no, I don't like it. But he said, guys did it because something about they got a better sense of, it's almost like, I don't know if like manipulating a baseball with your fingers or your hands, like the way.
Some quarterbacks in bad weather wear gloves, and some say I can't.
Can't, yeah.
Yeah. Or look around the greens, short game, no gloves, no glove on the dominant hand of your swing. Most golfers get around the green, they want to feel the grip of the club and the feedback,
right?
Because it's about the feedback,
right? So I think that was the premise. Was that's why you did it.
In your local bowling league, if you saw those guys with the glove, the ones that popped,
you're
like, oh no, this guy's a ringer.
Hey, by the way, we'll have an announcement soon, I think, as to the bowling tournament.
Working it.
Really getting excited about that. It is what gets you in the mood the season, right? It's where you start to feel the community's benevolence as people come out and support a great cause. It's awesome.
Also, I'm assuming that we're going to have to do some early sign-offs or something along those lines on the channel to make sure that Billy Squire gets his run during the holiday. We got to protect Billy at all costs.
Yeah, and we've got to figure out something with that. People, we've all grown weary and tired of not being able to hear the greatness of the JCS bumper.
That's correct. I'm sure, yes, it's number one on everybody's list.
It's not number one on everybody's list, but it is on people's list. I've seen the complaints, and I agree with them. It's a character on the show. It's an expression. It matters.
It's an expensive-ass character.
Well, it would be if we kept doing it. It shouldn't be. I hear music everywhere all the time, but they're not trying to monetize YouTube, I suppose.
That's correct.
And when are they going to get it together over there on YouTube and Spotify and all these places? Like, come on, man. For years, they had it figured out. You paid your little fee at the start of the year for your license, and you could play 10 to 15 seconds of anything.
Yeah. Well, and we would really run up against
40 seconds, whatever. Yeah.
But we had to pay, I think, 3 licenses. I remember doing the P&L reports for I had to do that. Oh, my God, this time of year. They were fairly expensive.
Yeah, but every radio station kind of understood the deal. If you had a talk show.
As long as you had it, then they weren't going to enforce anything.
They weren't going to be like, that was 7 seconds too long.
Right. Like ASCAP that was more music, but BMI was the one that you need to be careful of. Yeah.
We will tell you the winner of the text to win Decks a Day giveaway that we did there in hour 1. We'll do it here in a few minutes for hour 2. And from there, you'll know one's in the books, and there's another one to win, and there'll be a third one in the third hour as well, and I look forward to it. We got a wager with my mother, who last night I know took the Steelers, as did most everybody in my pool. I had Cleveland. I wasn't the only one that had Cleveland. How about waking up to that today? I thought, I gained one on the entire pool. You know who the other person was that took Cleveland? Matt Millar. Really? Got to give my former producer credit. I got up this morning thinking I would be the only guy in this rather sizable pool that would have taken Cleveland last night. And I was like, wait a minute, who else got points last night? And there it was, Matt Millar staring back at me, a wink and a point.
That was me in my fantasy league a couple weeks ago with T. Higgins, who had 200 yards or whatever it was. And my opponent had Joe Burrow.
Oh.
Or no, it's the other way around. Excuse me. What am I saying? I had Joe Burrow and they had Jamar Chase. So I ended up losing in that situation.
It'll hurt your feelings, won't it? That is tough. By the way, can somebody figure out, tell me how it's possible. That's music and I got to be quiet. But how do the Steelers end up with the worst kinds of human beings at wide receiver all the time? George Pickens is a lunatic. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with.
Homeowners, this is Shannon Young with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, and I want to talk to you today about consolidating your debt. Are you struggling with your monthly expenses? Consumer spending and overall debt are reaching all-time highs, while homeowners are sitting on trillions of dollars in untapped equity in their homes. Don't be afraid to walk away from that 2% mortgage while you're paying double-digit interest rates on credit cards and lines of credit and drowning in debt. Let's talk about how we can consolidate your debt, lower your overall monthly payments, and potentially save you thousands of dollars in the process. Give me a call at 954-369-6171. Again, 954-369-6171. And this is Shannon Young with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, and I'm at 954-369-6171.
Equal Housing with NMLS 373031.
Honey, I'm home.
We're in here, honey.
So why are all my friends here?
Have a seat, Dave. We need to talk about your problem.
Problem? I don't have a problem.
Dave, you do have a problem. A problem with your grill. Here's some pamphlets from Hearth and Patio. They are waiting for your call to help you upgrade your grill.
If you or someone you know needs a grilling intervention, call Hearth and Patio today at 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. Or hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
There ain't no school, no school, dig into the test, let me know you need it.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
There's no heating and air conditioning.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee. Your Sports Flash update on Real Talk 93.3, brought to you by Fulmar's Pawn, Gun and Gold. More than you might expect with two great locations in Tallahassee.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers football wide receiver Mike Evans continues to look like he'll be in the lineup coming up on Sunday against the Giants. He has missed the last 3 games as a result of a hamstring injury. But in practice on Thursday, he was a full participant after being limited on Wednesday. So that is good news for him and good news for the Buccaneers as they look to pick up a win against the Giants. The Dolphins on Sunday, they are going to play host to New England. In basketball, the Orlando Magic, they knocked off the Lakers yesterday, 119-118. They host Detroit coming up on Saturday. The Heat don't play again until Sunday, hosting Dallas. This Sports Flash is brought to you by Fulmar's Pawn, Gun, and Gold, more than you might expect with 2 great locations in Tallahassee. I'm Matt Pauley on Real Talk 93.3.
So this new dove is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This announcement is brought to you by Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey.
If you're driving right now, you should know there's an 80% chance that the cars all around you don't carry any bodily injury insurance. Most people don't realize it, but in Florida, all the law requires is that drivers carry property damage insurance. This means that the texting teen drifting over into your lane or the drag racer on your rear bumper have no way of compensating you or your loved ones when they cause a crash. And this should scare the hell out of you. Fortunately, there's an easy way to protect your family from this, and it's called uninsured motorist coverage. It's an absolute must, but a lot of insurance companies are convincing folks to drop it just to save a few dollars. Take it from the personal injury experts. Don't. At Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey, we've recovered millions of dollars in uninsured motorist coverage in crashes where our clients would have otherwise received nothing. So please, call your agent right now and make sure you have uninsured motorist coverage on your policy. We hope you'll never need it, but we'll be here for you if you ever do. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Don't settle for less.
Hey, everybody, it's Ed Dean along with Roger Henderson, also with FloridaDaily.com. Just want to remind you, daily 4 to 6 in the afternoons right here in Tallahassee on Real Talk 93.3 FM. Roger, it is literally the 2 fastest hours anywhere in afternoon talk radio.
And if you think the country's going crazy, we'll help you make sense of it all.
Oh, yeah, we'll try to make some sense of it. Again, Monday through Friday in the afternoons, Ed Dean, Roger Henderson on 93.3.
Science-backed, technology-tracked, and coach-led. Hey, Jeff Cameron here. You've heard me rave about the benefits of Orange Theory Fitness and the proven track record of science-backed interval training. Well, now Orange Theory Fitness has done it again, adding more ways for you to improve your health and look your best. In addition to the always great standard workouts, OTF has added Tread 50 and Strength 50. For those in the mood to just lift for an afternoon or attack those cardio goals for the day. Take the guesswork out of exercise. Make sure you're getting the most out of each and every workout. Orange Theory Fitness, location Midtown Tallahassee and Village Square Boulevard.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Or somebody's keys. I've got extra sets of keys over here to start the hour. I don't know what's going on.
Took my keys?
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I took John's keys. I am a key snatcher. You ever got people? You get people like that in your life? I'm that guy.
Well, all of my keys for everything I use are in one place. So if somebody snatches it, I'm just stuck where I am. I can't go anywhere.
If I see keys laying somewhere, I just automatically assume they're mine. It's probably a form of paranoia. I'll just be like, oh, my keys. I don't even look at them. I'm just like, oh, those are keys. It must be my keys. It's really weird that I do that. It's a terrible habit. I've been halfway down the road before and somebody called me like, hey, man, you got my keys in your pocket?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Like, what? You got my keys in your pocket? Oh, I do.
Oh, buddy. One of the worst, most sickening feelings I've ever had in my life was years ago. We were with friends in St. George Island for a few days, and they left, and we were going to, clean up the place, get ready. It was a rental agency.
Oh, yeah.
And there, I'm sure, probably on Capitol Circle at this point, my keys are inside the passenger door.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because we had made a quick beer run.
Oh, that's devastating, dude.
To all of us, because they had to come back. And I still feel horrible to this day.
That's one of those ones, too, where it's like everybody knows what has to be done here.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it. I have to turn around and get Tom his keys.
Yep.
And the hard part about that is, like, I love Tom, but I would have said some negative words about Tom in the moment.
Sure there were.
I mean, I'd be like, are you effing kidding me with this? I got to drive another hour and a half back? 2 hours back? Which is really going to be a 4-hour add-on?
I might be exaggerating on how close they were to home, but it wasn't 5 minutes away. Oh, man. Every once in a while, I do something. I don't think they realize. I do something nice for them.
Well, you just send them money in the mail?
It might be like I pick up of this, I pick up of that. I'll put that on me, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because.
This is because of the key thing.
Always. I mean, I'll be paying for that the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's a toughie. That's a real toughie. So, do we like the kid that Florida State got from Oklahoma yesterday? Do the recruitniks say, "Hey, cool, that's awesome"? It's certainly not going to be the same sort of buzz that you got with Julian Lewis committing as a 5-star to Deion Sanders at Colorado, or the kid that goes to Michigan. Can you believe what they're saying now is kind of the going rate for a 5-star quarterback, like the can't miss kind? So if you recall, Jameis is the only guy that I can remember for Florida State where I did a bunch of the things where you call all of the people that go to all of the camps and just talk to people who, wherever, you can work for any team site you want. If you're the recruiting guy and you go to these camps, or you were at the camps or the workouts for Jameis Winston in this case, if you were any of those guys, I actually sought you out. I looked for you. Didn't matter. I didn't work for Warchant at the time. It was Jeff Cameron's show. We were just trying to get a sampling for everybody, right? So I asked everybody who was anybody in that industry, in the recruiting industry, what's the deal? What makes this kid special? Why is everybody? Yeah. And long story short, all of them were like, the prevailing wisdom is that whoever gets Jameis Winston is going to win the national title. You don't ever hear that. You seldom ever hear somebody who is as decorated across the board as that, where somebody will say, look, man, there are prized recruits to get excited about, running backs, receivers, whatever, right? Where you go, oh, man, that dude's a difference maker. If you've got your ducks in a row and you add this guy to the program and you've got any semblance of an offensive line, you're going to be great, right? Occasionally you hear that. But every once in a great while, you'll get the, oh, no, that dude is going to win you the national title. Now, you know how hard that is? Pretty much the only person that can ever be labeled in that way is a quarterback. There's not going to be, not even, like, if you go all the way back, you could have been like, listen, you're going to get Herschel Walker. You're going to get Bo Jackson. You're going to get, name your superstar running back from back in the day, right? Some superhuman guys that just like, you're like, that's a grown-ass man at 18. Those wouldn't guarantee you national titles. Those wouldn't guarantee, yeah, because they're running backs.
Yes, and some other positions. Like I've heard the way that you're describing people talked about Jameis. I've heard only a few other times, so I don't search it out. So if it makes it to me,
yeah, then you know.
Then I know, because I'm not trying to find it. In no particular order, Justin Fields was that way.
We almost had him.
Nakobe Dean was that way. Linebacker.
Yeah, but nobody's going to say a linebacker's winning you a national title.
I just mean
right.
that the people talk about him almost with reverence before they've played it down in college football.
Yeah, where you're like, that dude's a difference maker. That's a huge get.
Long before ESPN talked about him ad nauseum when he didn't play, Jabril Peppers was that way.
Right.
there's only been very, very few of those types. But this has been, Jameis was one of those, and it was no doubt.
And I was always blown away by that. I was like, I mean, when people who didn't even know each other, separate from one another, said to me, hey, you get that kid, if you were able to pry him away from Alabama or Auburn, they're going to win a national championship. Florida State's going to win the national championship with that dude. So it's pretty rare that you hear that sort of thing where anybody talks like that. Well, I was listening to it was a sports talk show out of the Midwest. I can't even remember the name. It was just two guys, and it was a clip. It was a clip that I found. And in the clip, they said something that interested me. It's less about that. They were just talking about the fight between LSU and Michigan for this quarterback, right? And the whole idea was the same talking points we've all had since NIL became a thing and since unlimited transfers became a thing, and how secure is anybody when you get a yes, and what does it even mean, and how long do you have to continue to recruit the kid up until the last day? We all know, right? All that stuff, right? And they were talking about, well, anymore, if you got a guy that is labeled in that way, a guy that the same recruiting experts that I'm referencing with the Jameis stuff, if those guys say to you, dude's an NFL quarterback, he'll be going to the league, he is going to play for years in the NFL, he's going to be an All-American wherever he goes and plays college, he's going to be a star. Arch Manning kind of fit in that category. Everybody said, look, if you've seen Arch Manning, given his pedigree, given how big and strong he is, how much faster he is than the Mannings and the other Mannings, and, you know, his acumen for the game and all that, he's going to be a star. All right. You knew millions of dollars were going to be in play there. Well, the couple of these kids this year, number 1, number 2, number 3 recruits at quarterback are getting 3, 4, 5, 10 over 4, 12 over 4 seems to be the kind of going rate. What I get that we have watched a seismic shift in the way that recruiting works and the way that college football works. I cannot imagine. I mean, just 10 years ago, we could never have figured you'd be at a place where if you are lucky enough that your kid is a quarterback or a star wide receiver or star running back or defensive end or whatever at a fairly decent sized high school, and they're a difference maker, and they've got offers from the elite schools across America, that they're going to be millionaires before they play a down in college football.
And it's guaranteed money like they're an MLB pitcher. Their situation at the next level won't be as guaranteed as it is when they're in college.
It's incredible. Talking to high school coaches, that it seems untenable, and I'm not against it per se. I'm in awe. Like the idea of a 16-year-old being courted, and we're talking big boy money here, huge life-altering, life-changing, family-altering money.
Yeah.
To go play college football. You could fail miserably. We all know that. You could get there and the game could be too fast. You could struggle to adjust, whatever it might be. $8-9 million coming your family's way, and the moment you say yes to a place like, say, Colorado, Michigan, or LSU, or whatever it might be, holy moly!
Well, it's college football has adopted what the pros have been doing. You know, the NBA had a straight out of high school rule forever and a day. They stopped themselves because they were wasting money.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody was. Kobe Bryant was, considered to be that guy who you knew at 18.
Kevin Garnett, too.
Kevin Garnett. But then now we saw 60 Minutes sports version, or Real Sports, specials about guys that went overseas. Instead of going and playing one and done in college, they were offered $1 million plus a flat for them and their family in Italy or wherever.
That wouldn't suck.
Right. Now college football is doing that on the up and up where it was happening before, but the numbers are so much greater. And the way you can do the math on it is, like, I don't think $20 million for a cap, 20 and a half, is going to be the extent to which a sport pays for a player.
And remember, that's 20 and a half for your athletic department. It's not just football. Now, most of that we think will go to football, which creates legal issues and everything else, but we think that's where that's headed. Yeah.
But I mean, Alfred's talking about, and that it's just gonna be night and day. That's the end of it. It's like, that's the most you can spend. No, man, that's not. No. And if you think it's gonna stop pay for play with collectives, no, it's not. unless there is significant rulings, a significant series of rulings that come in addition to what they have with the settlement, it's not going to stop pay for play. It's just 20.5 is where the whole budget's going to begin. But here's what I'd ask you is if you've got 20.5 to work with in a given year, how important is the quarterback to the health of the athletic department? Is he worth
$5 million?
Is he worth 15% of what you're using?
Right,
is he worth 25% of what you, yeah, of course he is. If he's that good.
It's to me, when we're talking about can't miss players, now there's a big difference between the potential of a 4-star quarterback, Tom, like say a 4-star quarterback, right? Or a 3 or a 4 betweener. One site's got him at 4, one site's got him at 3. It's debatable. You would look at a guy like that and you just say, well, it's going to be a couple of years. He needs to be in the right system. It's all these things, right? For these guys that are, no matter where they play, you plop them in, they're 6'4", wicked smart, process information quickly. They've got the pro body already. They're 228 pounds. You've seen them make every throw that a quarterback has to make. They can throw off platform. They can move. They can do all those things. They're going to be great no matter where they go. There's only a couple of those guys. I mean, hell, the can't miss guy, once every 4 or 5 years, you get a guy like that?
Yeah, we laughed at the number that was thrown out about Josh Petty, and I believe it was 2.4. Was that what it was?
Something like that, yeah.
So I think it broke down to around $800K a year, something like that.
Well, and I was like, good Lord.
2 of those
wasn't
years
even going to play. Yeah.
2 years of those are development. But, I mean, if that's the going rate for an O-lineman, and I think Georgia Tech is factoring in the settlement coming. How could Georgia Tech have as much money as what it takes, not just for Petty, but maybe 2 or 3 other players without congressional settlement? Like, all I'm saying is that the market's going up across the board.
Yeah.
It's not just about year over year you have to best last year's precedent like a free agent market in professional sports. It's that, oh, God, now there's a real pool of $20.5 million that you have to work with from the university side. And I'm sure economic impact studies are going to be conducted on how much money does a second-team All-American candidate, a Heisman candidate bring into my total athletic department, to the enrollment of the university? And that's where quarterbacks at that level, I would imagine, are going to be making $4 or $5 million before long per season. It's going to be worth it to them.
Man, it's going to be I would tell you that the biggest change we're going to see. Okay, so fine. Let's say that plays out that way. And a Julian Lewis gets $4 or $5 or $6 million per.
Yeah, like 5 years from now.
Yeah, I'm just saying a player like that or what. Okay, say that happens. The difference is, and it's already hard when you're 22, 23 years old, but you're going to add to the pressures of leaving home for the first time in your life at 17 or 18 years old. You're socially awkward as hell. You have, for the first time, you're going to have, we all did it. If you went away, whether you went to college or not, the first time you moved out of your parents' home and had to provide for yourself in whatever way, that's a hell of an adjustment. It's a hell of a thing to have to do. We all did it. And, it's to varying degrees of success, right? You look back and you kind of have fun at your own expense. A lot of times you're like, why did I do that? Was nuts. Why did I do that? Why did I do this? Well, I didn't know any better. I was 18. I'd laugh at me. I remember calling my mother about certain things with laundry. I was like, well, what do I do with this? Yeah, you're spoiled, Jeff. I did your laundry for you. But anyhow, these kids are going to be going through all those normal adjustments that we all had to make. And they're going to do so as multimillionaires with a bright, bright spotlight on them. And they're going to do so where everybody is carrying the ability to document your every move. Again, it's not just that 18-year-olds are going away to college to play football and they're going to get paid $4 and $5 million. And so there's pressure inherent to all of that. There's pressure inherent to leaving your parents' house and living on your own, to learning how to socially adapt for the first time by your lonesome without a core group of friends from the same neighborhood. You're having to do all these different things, right? And now you're doing all of that under the brightest of spotlights, and every person knows exactly who you are, and they are filming you that each time you go out, everywhere you go, because you are the guy. And you might have been the guy in 1988. You might have been the guy in 1998. Now you're the guy where you're paid millions in a way that you never were. And I've got you documented everywhere you go. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I'm just talking about what we're going to see. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not telling you it's good or bad. What I'm telling you is that you are going to see catastrophes.
Yeah, it's where the grandfather of the whole thing will be Johnny Manziel on the Yeti, and it's for Texas A&M kids only, and Texas A&M kids are replying to Johnny Manziel
saying,
putting
hey,
videos
man,
on the Yeti saying, dude, get your life together. Hang in there, man.
The freaking Yeti. I forgot about that thing was nuts.
It's only the beginning. That was the rumbling of what's coming. But this is where I believe, and I'm fully with the place that this is going, that Johnny Manziel, his value for Texas A&M versus Kevin Sumlin's, who's worth more in terms of money coming into that athletic department? Who's worth more to Texas A&M? Is it Sumlin or is it Manziel? And Ndamukong Suh, who's more important? Where did he go? Was it Nebraska? Is that right?
And Ndamukong Suh played at Nebraska, yes.
Name me any of the coaches, the head coaches that were around the time of Ndamukong Suh, like the 3 or 4 that were around the same era of Ndamukong Suh. Who's more important for the economic impact of Nebraska football over the past 15, 20 years than Ndamukong Suh? I mean, that's where the money's starting to get transferred to the right place. NFL head coaches are paid very well, but they're not paid as much as the star quarterback who's all pro.
I get it. I got it. I'm not against it. I just think that it's a really tough adjustment at 17 years old, 18 years old, when you throw that kind of money into the equation.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have a team.
You are. It was always going to be difficult.
These kids at 16, 17 years old are going to have a team. That like personal security and or psychologists. I mean, it's going to have to be like an academy system.
100%.
If you're a stud, okay, you know who they could lean on is tennis. They could lean on young prodigies in tennis. That, I mean, you could document, I'm sure.
Many of them did not work out all that well, but yes, the Voluntary Academy and all that stuff.
But the model of what it is, who you need to surround yourself with, because you live in a bubble. You live in a different existence. You're right. It's no longer that I'm going to Psych 204.
No,
and I'm sitting down with
and I got to take my notes and make sure I pay attention. They don't care whether I show up to class or not, all that stuff. Right.
Jimmy, what was it like being in New York for the Heisman ceremony? That's so cool.
Right.
Man,
we're long past that, right? There's a level of sophistication now that has never existed. And I think, the hard part, if you look at it the other way around, you don't look at it from the kid's standpoint, and you look at it from the school standpoint, or you look at it from the coach's standpoint. All right, there's a weighty responsibility on me as an evaluator. There always was. But now we're talking about, like you just said, is it 5% of my budget? Is it 15% of my budget that I'm now going to say, let's commit to this kid? I want Julian Lewis, and I'm going to give him $10 million of the 20 we have to spend.
Ooh, 50% of the budget.
I'm making this up, but I'm saying, this guy is that kind of can't miss. We're going to win a national title with him, and you guys know what a national title means to our bottom line. He'll probably win the Heisman. You know what that adds to the bottom line as well. There have been studies on this for a long time. Now, seems like a lot, but man, that feature of you better not be wrong. Whoo! And the first time he has a bad game, the first time he looks to be in over his head, the way you watch the NFL's rookies currently is what you're going to be doing with freshmen in college. We watch first-round draft picks. We go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. How they talk to the media after a good game or a bad game. How they interact with their teammates. What they wear when they walk into the building. What time did they get to the building? What are their endorsement deals? Are they distracted? Who's the woman they're with? I mean, like everything.
This is where the process is going to repeat itself, because I would say not only are we going to look at them like we look at rookie quarterbacks, we're going to look at this player as though they were rookie quarterbacks in the Sam Bradford era.
Yeah.
Where it was such a huge chunk of your salary cap.
Set you back years if you got it wrong.
Right. Because now there's a control on it. And that's where I think the process, because I think it was Brandon in the chat, said, is there ever going to be a breaking point? Yes. When enough of these players fail, They're going to put fail safes in the system to protect the universities from themselves and say, when you're coming out of high school, here's the most you can make as a
Why
true
not
freshman.
do that now to protect? Because you
people
already
are stupid.
Yeah, but you already have the example. You have all the examples. We already know what's going to happen.
Yes.
And by the way, it's going to be worse because they're 18, not 23. It's
Yes. But you watch, that's when they'll run into the arms of unionization and slotting of salaries based upon years of service. I'm telling you, but it's going to take a lot of failures and a lot of kids to make a humongous payday and some to end in the gutter. A horrible, tragic story because they couldn't handle the pressure. That's where 100%.
Well, cautionary tales are going to abound. There's no way around it. I mean, we watch it now. It's going to be the same as it's always been. It's just that there's a huge number attached to it. I mean, it's not a scholarship. It's $15 million. It's $10 million.
This is where Nakos is right, and people like him, but he's on 3's version, and we have information, because he gets into the coaching stuff as well. But this is going to be a market, man. Like, more than it already is, it's going to be a market, and you're going to talk about signing day the way that Schefter talks about the opening day of free agency in the NFL. There's going to be the highest bidder.
Think about how uncomfortable we've always been with the recruiting, the way that it's talked about in certain circles, the way that it plays out. Like when you watch a kid's announcement, we've always made fun of that. We've always been like, this is ridiculous. There's such a level of disrespect that goes on in those sorts of announcements for the process, for the people involved, for the coaches that recruited the kids, it's awful.
And yet it's perfectly appropriate for the system that the kid is a part of, because the system is a bleep show.
Right.
It's becoming more honest. That's the hard part here, I think, for some people. It's becoming more honest, the system.
Part of that team that's going to have to talk to these kids is going to have to say to them, day one, you can no longer do what all of the other kids that came before you could do. You, by the way, if you have a bad game, are going to be booed the way that pros are booed. You are going to be ripped by afternoon talk show hosts the way that professional athletes are ripped. They're going to attack your person in some cases. They are tying $7, $8, $9 million, their future success, to you. And if you half-step, show up late to a meeting, it's going to be documented and talked about. Bad influence on other kids on the team in the locker room, it's going to be talked about, magnified. It'll be a week-long conversation. You are the center of attention at all times in this little college town from this point forward in a way that you never were 10 years ago, 15 years ago. This is going to be elevated to a level that is going, by definition, to make you incredibly uncomfortable because nobody can handle that well.
Yeah. If you're the starting left tackle on the team who's making $500K, $750K, although it's probably light, you probably can live in some hybrid existence between yesteryear and what's to come. But if you're a quarterback, if you're the stud defensive end, if you're the team captain at safety, or a high-profile spot that could be put on an island, like a corner is a great example. Let's say that you're one of the most well-paid corners coming out of high school, and then you get roasted in one-on-ones left and right. Everybody sees that. That's easy. It's easy for everybody to point out. We're getting to a place where those kids will need security escorts to leave the stadiums. I mean, like things like that. Yeah. Because think about it. The gasoline here is the passion of college football fans.
Yeah.
So this isn't like somebody going to MetLife Stadium and having to hop on the New Jersey transit system to get home. You're talking about people who have this stuff in their blood. People who poison trees. That's what you're talking about.
Text a Day giveaway continues right now here in hour number 2. We had a winner from the last hour. I'll tell you who that was later on in the show. We'll get another winner right here, right now, an opportunity. Look, this thing takes 10 to 15 minutes to get a DEXA scan. You get precise fitness levels. You know where you're at. You'll learn your potential, your cardiovascular health, and give you the tools that you need for athletic performance and optimization for your physical performance, all the things that we're searching for when we sign up to work out and try to improve ourselves, whether that's better sleep, better body, feeling better altogether, greater clarity. Here's what you do for your opportunity to get this DEXA scan along with a red light therapy session, rejuvenate the skin, all that good stuff. Text DEXA, that's DEXA, text DEXA to 850-386-8255. Text the word DEXA, DEXA, to 850-386-8255. Time to wager with my mother, who still has the lead in the head-to-head. When we come back, it's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Searching for the best place to host an event for your friends and family? The Golf Club at Summerbrook is more than just a place for a round of golf. It's also one of the best choices for hosting and celebrating the most special days in your life. From rehearsal dinners and baby showers to corporate banquets and kids' birthday parties, you'll receive amazing personal service and attention to every detail when you choose the Golf Club at Summerbrook. Find out how affordable it can be and call us today at 850-894-GOLF. That's 850-894-GOLF.
Widden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Don't miss TSC Tuesdays every Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m. during the Greg Tish Show. Find out what's happening at Tallahassee State College every Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. on Real Talk 93.3 FM.
Social Kitchen on Cary Forest Parkway is your place for all things related to football season. Need steaks? Social Kitchen. Need chef-prepared sides and appetizers? Social Kitchen. Need desserts for a party? Social Kitchen. Anything you need this fall, Social Kitchen has you covered. Tallahassee's only premier market where you can receive the famed Snake River Farm steaks and premier meats. Social Kitchen also has chef-prepared meals and sides that are ready to serve in under 20 minutes. Stop in or visit online at socialkitchentlh.com. Know your body and transform your life with DexaFit Tallahassee, your go-to for science-backed health insights. Their DEXA scan gives you the most accurate body composition available, measuring bone density, muscle mass, and both subcutaneous and visceral fat. Get the data you need to track progress and make real changes. Your VO2 max is the best indicator of health and longevity, but it offers more than just a number. It shows respiratory function, calories burned at different intensities, and whether your body burns fat or carbs, helping you train smarter. DexaFit's RMR test reveals how many calories you burn at rest and the type of fuel your body uses, so you can dial in your diet for weight loss, muscle gain, or maintenance. And their red light therapy soothes sore muscles, reduces inflammation, and rejuvenates your skin. Right now, get a DEXA scan and red light therapy for just $99. That's a $184 value. Call 850-510-7728 or visit DexaFit Tallahassee's website to book. Know your body and transform your life this fall with DexaFit. Science-backed, technology-tracked, and coach-led. Hey, Jeff Cameron here. You've heard me rave about the benefits of Orange Theory Fitness and the proven track record of science-backed interval training. Well, now Orange Theory Fitness has done it again, adding more ways for you to improve your health and look your best. In addition to the always great standard workouts, OTF has added Tread 50 and Strength 50 for those in the mood to just lift for an afternoon or attack those cardio goals for the day. Take the guesswork out of exercise. Make sure you're getting the most out of each and every workout. Orange Theory Fitness, location Midtown Tallahassee and Village Square Boulevard.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
I can tell you that as of last night, I got the advantage on Mama with the victory as I took Cleveland, and I know she had Pittsburgh. So that is helpful. But I can also inform you that last week, Mom took 2 of 3 from me. So factoring in last night's result, I think, Mom, that I am down to you, trailing to you by two. And that's where we're at heading into the rest of the games this weekend. If you want to cue it up, Tom, we'll bring her in, and here we go.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
I shall take it away. Hello, Mother. We've got a weird camera angle today with me, and so it makes it hard for me to see you because one of our main cameras is broken, but that doesn't matter. You're here, and did you wake up this morning and look and go, that's SOB to Cleveland?
Well, you know what? I didn't say that, but I did look to see because it kind of surprised me. But because I figured most everybody took Pittsburgh, which they did, except for you. And as you said, Matt Millar. But anyway, that was okay. You know, I thought about it, but Pittsburgh's been playing so well. And I don't know, as we say, Mike Tomlin seems to find a way. So, and they almost pulled it out last night. I mean, they really did.
Well,
that weather was something.
It was awesome. Fun watching snow games. That was really cool. And good for Jameis Winston and good for Cleveland and good for them, 24-19. So that means we go into tonight's action. Here we are, late November, nearly Thanksgiving, and you still hold a 2-game lead on me. Looking to defend your title. It's impressive, Mom. It's impressive. I think we've got
and I won the pool that we're in 2 weeks in a row.
You're on a roll. You're on a roll. And I won it the week before that. So there you go. It's a war between you and me atop all the pickings.
It is. All in the family.
All right. Minnesota at Chicago.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Detroit at Indianapolis.
Detroit.
New England at Miami.
Yeah. Miami.
It's a tough game.
There's a part of me.
There's a part of me that's kind of looking at that New England team. Did you know that Drake May in the last 3 games Tom, did you know this? He's rushed for 190-something yards on 18 carries?
It's the new Josh Allen.
Drake May's out here doing some damn things. Look out, Miami. You need to win this game. Our Bucks go to face the Giants, and, you'd like to think that you're going to be able to beat DeVito and the rest of the Giants' sad sap organization, but we'll see.
You never know, but I know Mike Evans is supposed to play, so that's a good thing. I took the Bucks.
Me too. Dallas at Washington. Kansas City at Carolina, you took Kansas City. Tennessee at Houston, you took Houston. Denver at Las Vegas, you took Denver.
I did.
Man, now we get to some juicy games. The next 4 are all juicy, and we may have some difference of opinions here. Here we go.
Okay.
San Francisco at Green Bay.
Yeah. I took Green Bay. San Francisco's going to Green Bay, and I don't know, San Francisco they're hard to figure out this year. I know they've got what's his name back. What's his name? McCaffrey.
Yes.
And that's big, but I don't know. And I like Purdy, but I took Green Bay. I don't know though. That Jordan Love, he makes me nervous. He throws too many interceptions, but I took him.
It's an awesome game. It's a fun game. One of the problems with the 49ers, Mom, if you're searching for the lack of consistency with them, they're all beat up. They've got myriad injuries on defense, and they've got key players out and have been out for some time. So that's kind of what's going on then with the defensive injuries. And when they lose games, they lose because they're not able to stop the run. Josh Jacobs could have a good game. I also went with Green Bay. Arizona's at Seattle.
Yeah, I took Arizona.
I should take Arizona because they've owned Seattle. I'm taking Seattle. There you go. We got one different. Mom, we're on the air.
I know. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to solve a problem here. All right. Now tell me again. Okay, Arizona, you took Seattle?
I took Seattle. There you go.
All right. So we got that one different. Okay.
Philadelphia at Los Angeles, and that would be the Rams.
I know it. That could be a really good game. I took Philadelphia.
The right pick. I took Philadelphia as well. Could be a really good game is also correct. Baltimore at the Chargers in a can't-miss Monday Night Football game.
That's a goodie, isn't it? You know, I took Baltimore, but I don't know. I really agonized over this game. I really did. Because just about the time I think that they are it and they can't lose, they do. So I don't know, but I did take Baltimore.
Damn it, man. I took Baltimore. I thought you'd take the Chargers there, but I took Baltimore to bounce back from their loss. And Lamar has played well on the West Coast in his career. He's 6-2, also off of a loss. Lamar tends to carry the ball a lot. In fact, 10 to 12 carries a game after losses. That's him taking control after they lose a game. I like that kind of responsibility out of him. I took Baltimore as well, but I think it's a really good game, and neither of us would be shocked if we lost it. So we have one damn game different. Is that it? Or two, I guess, because I won last night.
Right. So and I'm still 2 ahead. Yeah. Because of that game last night. I would have been 3, I think. But anyway, we only have the Seattle game different from the rest of these games. So that makes me feel pretty good.
A quick question. Do you guys want to pick the Thanksgiving games before next week?
Oh.
Or do you want information on injuries and so forth?
I need information.
All right.
You can't speed
that just yet.
We'll be with each other. I'll get to see her. I'll know if she's cheating or not. We'll be okay. Yeah.
You know I do so much research.
All right, Mom, we've got the one different. There it is, Arizona and Seattle, and you're on the side of the favorite, by the way. Arizona's a favorite on the road, just a 1-point favorite on the road against Seattle. We'll walk in at 425 on Sunday for the one that we have difference. Love you, Mom. See you soon.
Right. Love you too. See you soon. Everybody have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There's Mama. I thought for sure that she would take San Francisco. I thought for sure she would take the Chargers. And
I thought you were going to take the Chargers. I thought you were going to take Lee Sterling's Sterling advice.
No, I love this Chargers team is fun to watch, man. And I'm happy for the Knowles that are on that team. And I'm happy. First of all, I like Herbert. He's a really good quarterback. And he's been, there's coaching malpractice that's gone on prior to this year. In his situation. It's like I want him, I want Burrow, I want a lot of the young, talented quarterbacks around the league to do well and be put in good situations. And anyhow, that he's got that now.
So I was listening to some advanced insights on that particular game because, I mean, they're going to play it up, the brothers thing, all that kind of stuff.
It's a great game, though.
I'm shocked they didn't put that on Thanksgiving. Brotherly love, Thanksgiving. But the reason you don't pick the Chargers, if you're going to go that way, is because they haven't faced a good offense in a long, long time. So there is a lot of focus on Baltimore's defense being poor, but the Chargers defense hasn't been proven all the way yet. They've faced a lot of teams like the Tennessees and Raiders of the world in recent weeks, and so they're getting fat on that. So are they legit would be the question you ask as you wager this game. So maybe look to the over.
It's a fair question. I will say they held the Chiefs to just 17 points when they played them and lost that game 17-10. Now, you're right, though. They've played the Raiders, the Panthers, the Steelers, the Broncos. The Cardinals can be tough. They lost that game, but they only gave up 17
And we all know Kansas City this year is doing just what they have to do, nothing more.
Right, and they're winning with defense is what they're mostly doing, yeah. Now, they did just, however, play a very good offense last week against the Bengals. The Bengals have a very good offense. The Bengals have one of the best offenses. They just can't stop anybody. But they gave up, what was it, 27 points in that game. Yeah, Burrow got hot. So we'll see. This, I think, by the way, because I have some side wagers that I've added to the Redemption Thursday wagers, including some player props and team totals. And totals, period, this was one. Ravens-Chargers are going to score a lot of points. The Ravens secondary is garbage, and Herbert's good. That equals points. And I think that Lamar is going to come for blood. He is pissed. That was a tough loss to swallow against Pittsburgh. He's normally great off of a loss.
There's an opening now with Pittsburgh losing last night.
Yeah. And he's great off of a loss. He rebounds really well. I'll give Lamar Jackson a lot of credit. He's fun to watch after they lose. He's like, nope, not happening. I saw that stat, and then I delved in further. I was wrong. I told my mom 10. He averages 12 carries a game after losses.
If only the NFL playoffs were double elimination. How many Super Bowls would he have?
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
This is meteorologist Paul Frodley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A frost advisory begins at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning and continues until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bright sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 60. Northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 40 tonight, clear skies. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 59.
This is Alex from Falmers. We know that you want to get the most value for the money you spend this holiday season. That's why we're discounting all of our gold and silver jewelry by 50%. All diamond earrings, pendants, and charms. Popular items like gold chains and necklaces. Even all wedding sets and engagement rings are discounted by 50%. At Falmers, we make your dollars go further. Shop early for the best selection, and don't forget to ask about our great layaway plan. Falmers, 2 times more than you might expect with 2 great locations. As you probably know, Falmers buys, sells, and loans on just about anything of value. What you might not know is that when you buy something from us, we guarantee the total satisfaction of your purchase. Buy it, take it home, and if for any reason you decide you don't want it within 7 days, Falmers will give you 100% of your money back. And if you decide you don't want the item within 30 days, Falmers will let you exchange it for something you do want. At Falmers, we guarantee you're going to be happy with your purchase or we'll buy it back. Falmers, check cashing, pawn service, and sales. 2 times more than you might expect with 2 great locations.
Time to head out on our annual guys fishing trip. Wait, where's Jimmy?
He just texted me saying he has to swing by his storage unit to get a couple of things. And now there's a truck blocking him in and he won't be here for another hour.
That wouldn't have happened if he had just called Southeast Portable Buildings and got a unit right on his property.
I love mine. I have so much more space in my garage. Now I can finally park my truck in there.
Give them a call today, 850-580-6400. That's 850-580-6400. Or visit them online for all their options at southeastportablebuildings.com.
There is. Haven't seen this guy since, what was it? Oh, shoot. U2 at the Sphere in Las Vegas, baby.
Hey, how about that, man? Wasn't that fun?
Good show. Good show. Everything about it. Nearly perfect. Nearly perfect.
I had everything I could possibly want.
I wanted one thing, couldn't find it, and I looked everywhere. No Cubans.
What do you mean?
No Cubans.
There was Cubans.
No, I didn't see any Cubans.
Dude, I'm sure there was Cubans there. I mean,
No. I walked around. There was a moment right before the show. I thought, got to find some Cubans. Nothing.
Dude, there's Cubans. There was Cubans. I'm sure there was Cubans.
In Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas.
No Cubans in Vegas.
There's Cubans in Vegas, man.
Eddie, there were no Cubans.
Chef.
The sandwich. There were no Cuban sandwiches. You're Cuban. Of course I know there were Cubans there.
Oh, the sandwich. Yeah, no, there probably wasn't many there in Vegas.
No Cubans.
No, not yet.
Florida, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
I see you, Luke Clanton. Come on, baby. Just every time he creeps closer to atop the leaderboard, I go, damn it, my man, you're not getting any money out of this. Really, that's not true. Because ultimately, when he turns pro, the amount of endorsements and, advertising dollars available to him for a bunch of top 10 finishes is going to be greater. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he'll hit the ground running. But good for him, man. Good for Clanton. I did not take him this week. Somebody in our pool did, and I'm a little pissed.
Oh, yeah, you're still in that pool?
Oh, buddy, I'm in that pool. Oh, we go to war. It's very serious. I have to pay attention to golf year round.
Are you still? Well, yes, yeah. We all know this, and we profit off of it.
Yeah.
Are you still in that pool? Is it the elimination pool where it's you and another guy split the large entry?
Oh, you're talking about the suicide pool for the NFL?
Yeah, I think that's
I'm not doing that one anymore. No.
Okay.
Oh well, I didn't do it this year.
You used to sweat it with the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm doing it next year with you. You and I are going to put a chunk of change down, and we're going to week to week. We're going to have some fun with this. We're going to go through it because it's difficult. Most of these now have a buyback in, which makes it fun.
Yeah, this year I had Bengals in mine week 1. Thanks for playing.
Grand opening, grand closing.
It was like minus 650. I just looked at the biggest money line. I'm like, let's just get the. get it all started here. And I should have picked New Orleans over Carolina. I'm never not going to remember those two particular things that I should have picked against Carolina in that week 1. Anyway.
Well, if you remember, I said I began the opening week of the season by telling everybody Carolina was on the clock.
They were. But the thing was, they were more in touch with New Orleans than Cleveland was. I don't know if they were playing the Giants. I forget who it was.
Oh, Cincinnati.
Excuse me. Cincinnati was a huge money line favorite.
Yeah. Oh, I remember looking at the national statistics for people that were in the suicide pools, and like 70% of people that were in the $1 million pool were out.
Thanks for playing.
Man, if during that week you didn't have, you were smart enough or you lucky enough not to go that route, you were in heaven. You're like, 70% of my competition's gone, just like that.
Well, I mean, that's the method that
they
I
played the
used.
Patriots. They played the Patriots,
right.
and they lost. They lost 16-10. Jeez, that's embarrassing.
And it really wasn't that close, as I recall.
Well, it's ridiculous to lose to that sorry Patriots bunch. That is nuts. Drake May wasn't even on the field yet.
So I've never done those pools before, and my method I just moved over was the bowl confidence pool, where you let the money line dictate the basics, and then where you have knowledge or an in, that's where you switch things around from a confidence standpoint. But just go to Vegas and look at the money lines, and that gives you where you should be your 43 or 1 in your bowl confidence pool.
Okay. You got a system.
That's how I've won several of those. Yeah. But you just look to Vegas. They tell you the truth. It's like, in our free pick'em league, when they do the totals, just go look at the over-under.
Oh,
yeah. You're done.
Yeah. Go look at the over-under.
Tiebreaker, team total. I mean, game total. Yeah. Well, what does Vegas think? 56? Well, I think I'm going to put 56
56 is going to get written down here. Yeah. Usually I do the same thing. Same exact thing, actually. Those pools are fun. By the way, the Bengals, I thought I was remembering this correctly. They took Amarius Mims. We were just talking about Mims yesterday.
Yeah.
He's good. He's having a good year.
Yes, he is.
Tackles, centers. And this year's NFL draft, defensive tackles. By the way, who's enamored with any of the quarterbacks?
You got Shador and Cam Ward, right? That's about it.
You got the kid of Georgia.
Yeah.
No,
the best of his.
The best of him is the best there is,
Yeah.
but he's not consistently great. Shador is awesome. He's awesome every week. That kid has completely changed the way that he is viewed by anybody who saw him early in his career to where he is now. He's got a lot bigger. Shador's a thick kid now. He's a big kid.
Took a beating.
He takes a ton of punishment and he handles it well. He's grown up famous, so I don't think you don't have to worry about like money or anything like that getting to him. He's grown up famous.
He looks more well-adjusted than just about anybody on that sideline.
I think he looks more well-adjusted than his dad. He's
That's kind of what I said.
Yeah. He's no, I think he's certainly in the conversation as best quarterback available in the draft this year. And he's going to get paid. There's no doubt about that. But I admire that he's tough. I really think highly of people that are tough in a game makes you that tests your toughness.
The numbers on the pressure rates and the hits over the last 2 seasons alone are staggering. And when we were looking at the numbers for DJU around week 3, week 4, Shador's pressure rate was still up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't quite as bad.
No, they've gotten better.
And they've gotten better as the season has gone along as well. But even the first few games when they're feeling this whole process out, his pressure rate was at 40%.
Some of it, the knock on Shador is that he holds the ball too long. And this is what happens to guys that are playmakers. They think they can make a play to the very last second. Now, there's an adjustment period, right? From high school to college, there's an adjustment of how fast people can get to you and how quickly they can close on a throw and all those things, right? And you watch kids figure that out. He started to figure it out. Okay, I don't have as much time as I thought I had, and I'm not as elusive against the best team as I think I am because there's good athletes there too. And he's going to have that happen when he goes to the league. They'll be like, oh, they're a little faster here too, but he'll adjust. I trust that.
We were talking about tanking during the break, and we agree that NFL tanking is more about personnel decisions than it is.
Yeah, the guys who take the field try hard on every play.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, yes.
It's their own livelihood.
That's correct.
But this is the part of the year where teams like the Bucs, I'd say even us, make a decision. Either lose this weekend and get us in a position where we can draft an edge rusher in the top 15, because we need a pass rush, or go ahead and get on a heater and let's go win the division.
Oh, the Falcons caved. I mean, there you go.
But just don't play 500 ball going back there, picks 14th, and now we're outside of the money when it comes to a nice edge rusher.
There's a lot of defensive linemen in the draft this year, but look at the slate. You just went through hell. You just played Ravens, then you played Falcons, Chiefs, 49ers. That's a tough stretch. You didn't fare well. You should have won the Falcons game. You should have won the Chiefs game. If you'd gone for 2, you had a chance to do it. Hell, you could have won that 49ers game. It's very frustrating, right? All of that's true. But now, your grand reward is that you're in the same situation you were in a year ago. And look at what you have. Giants, Panthers, Raiders. Come on, man.
Right.
Go win you 3 games right now. Get back to 500, and let's let the chips fall where they may. Down the stretch, you're going to lose a game to the Chargers on the road. Ain't winning that game. Got it. But you play the Cowboys sorry ass, the Panthers sorry ass, and the Saints who fired their coach and they've quit. Buddy, they could win this division. They should. And the Falcons want to quit. They want to lose, don't they? Final hour forthcoming.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. As we roll into the holiday season, Kraft Nissan is making it easy for you to get into a new car before next year. Let's start with this. Buy any new or used car on our lot, and you won't pay till Valentine's Day. And like always, we asked Nissan to extend our finance offers, and they did. So this month, you can still get 0% interest for 60 months on Nissan Titan trucks. Need more reasons? How about 8,000 reasons? Yes, you can get up to $8,000 off on your purchase of a new Titan truck. And it keeps coming. Last year, Motor Trend voted Rogue the #1 new compact SUV in America. And this month, we have 0% interest on Rogue's Platinum trim level. And when Cars.com listed the best used cars on the market, they liked the Nissan Rogue in the compact SUV category. And in the midsize SUV category, it was the Nissan Murano. You see, new or used, car, truck, or SUV, come to Kraft Nissan and discover why Tallahassee is a Nissan town. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive in Tallahassee.
Oh, whoa! Check out Pinch a Penny.
We're stocked to the rafters with Hot Spring Spas,
a recognized leader. Imagine the fun of the holidays with warmth, relaxation, and lovely bubbles. Almost 30 home spas for you to see right now. Affordable right now, too. Up to $2,000 off. Or special financing. Ask for details.
Is the world stressing you out like that?
Penny. Now, to assure these prices, Pinch a Penny, open 7 days a week on Career Road.
Power Mill Training Academy equips motivated athletes focused on baseball and softball with the specific tools to reach their true potential. Now, you'll read that if you go to their website, but I'm here to tell you that, look, whether it's your daughter wanting to play softball, your son wants to play baseball, or maybe they just want to have fun and get the most out of their abilities, and that's where Power Mill comes into play. They've got coaches and camps that teach for every level of play for your son or your daughter. To learn more, go to PowerMillSports.com.
Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Bar Construction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-134. T-Bar Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Bar Construction.com.
CCC 1331204.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
WVFT, Greater Tallahassee. This is Real Talk 93.3. More of the Jeff Cameron Show is coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas. Brought to you by Palmar's Pawn, Gun and Gold. More than you might expect with 2 great locations in Tallahassee.
Florida Gators have put together a 3-game winning streak at home, outscoring their 3 opponents by double figures and by 50 points. Florida, 10.5-point underdog against the Ole Miss Rebels at the Swamp tomorrow. The total, 55.5. South Florida, a 17-point home favorite against Tulsa at Raymond James Stadium, 60.5 the total. The Georgia Bulldogs laying 42 at home against UMass, 55.5 the total between the Hedges in Athens. College basketball tonight, Florida 18-point favorites at home at Southern Illinois, the total 155. Florida State laying 5 against Temple at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. Cash back for every bet with a GBank signature Visa card. Visa.com/GBank. Mike Sun at Real Talk 93.3.
Finding the perfect gifts for everyone on your list takes time, and the holidays can get a little busy. So let Macy's help you get a jump on your shopping with our Black Friday sale happening right now. It's your chance to find the best deals on the best gifts before the holiday rush, like cozy puffers and coats and more of the season's best styles. So get your gifts at Macy's now, and when you're cool, calm, and collected during holiday crunch time, you'll have yourself and Macy's to thank. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply. This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free bonus sign up, let the yes-tivities begin. No way! Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Honey, I'm home.
We're in here, honey.
So why are all my friends here?
Have a seat, Dave. We need to talk about your problem.
Problem? I don't have a problem.
Dave, you do have a problem. A problem with your grill. Here's some pamphlets from Hearth and Patio. They are waiting for your call to help you upgrade your grill.
If you or someone you know needs a grilling intervention, call Hearth and Patio today at 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282 or hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
October 3rd, 1863. Our nation is torn in the midst of civil war. Over 100,000 lives have been lost. Faced with the uncertainty of our survival as a nation, President Lincoln affirms his faith in God, issuing a proclamation and officially declaring the last Thursday of November as a day of thanksgiving and praise. This Thanksgiving, join with us in prayer for our great nation. From Sellers on Capitol Circle Northeast in Tallahassee, call 850-656-8453.
Harmon, you look so twisted. What did you do now?
Well, Hank the alligator needed his teeth brushed, and when I bent over to give him a scrub, my back popped like an afternoon lightning storm in Florida. And now I can't even stand up.
You need to go to FinnChiro.com and schedule your new patient appointment right away at FinnChiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
I'm really busy. I don't want to leave Hank in the orange grove unattended for too long.
Finn Chiropractic will get you in right away, and they get to the cause of your problems. So go to FinnChiro.com and make your new patient appointment. There is even an online discount.
Discount? That's a good thing because my purse is a little light since I bought Hank a new gold chain.
You have to take care of yourself if you want to be able to take care of your alligator, Hank. Make your appointment now. Go to FinnChiro.com.
Well, hold my pina colada. I'm going to FinnChiro.com.
Florida's capital city. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We knew it was going to be loosey-goosey when the cameras didn't work and we had to make do and was grabbing cameras and moving them around. We've got weird angles and everything going on now. But there you go. We're here. We're doing it. And you're here too. And we appreciate that. Thanks for being here. On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. Oh, by the way, happy hour, 5 o'clock. It's coming up quick. If you look outside, it already feels like 5 o'clock. Damn it, man. Myself, Corey, I think Tom may swing by later this evening as well.
Should be there around halftime of a basketball game.
Basketball starts at 5.
Maybe a skosh behind. Soccer at 5:30 as Florida State hosts Vandy today at the soccer complex. Good luck to the Noles.
Nice use of scotch.
Oh, yeah, man.
Don't hear scotch a lot. FSU basketball, as alluded to a moment ago, back in action both this afternoon and on Sunday in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame tip-off tournament at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, where they'll face Temple, followed by UMass. Those were pre-scheduled as opposed to an elimination tournament, by the way. This will be our second appearance in this event. 10 years ago, we dropped games to Providence, 80-54, sweet Jesus, and UMass, 73-69. You remember either one of them? It was in November of 2014, part of the 14-15 season where we finished a robust 17-16 and 8-10 in the ACC.
Kinda, not really.
Not at all.
The one that sticks out to me the most was when we were playing in Atlantis on Versus, the old
OLN the old Versus, yeah,
with the low ceilings in the grand ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Harvard we played, but it might have been 53-50. I believe it was Thanksgiving week. That one that's an indelible Thanksgiving-ish time memory. I also remember when we won in Orlando, we beat Iona for the championship.
Well, you're going to remember that. Yeah.
I think that was one of those wide world of sports ones.
I keep waiting for Etsu to play Florida State. It never happens. It would be great.
I'm waiting for us to go to the Maui Invitational.
Baseball used to go out and play in Hawaii all the time back in the day.
That's right. Yeah, Lee Bowen's favorite part, right?
Oh, well, he had it made. He used to go to Hawaii, and I think I'm fairly certain Eric Llewellyn got to go when he took over. They were still going out to Hawaii, and he got to do that. I was always jealous of that. Have you reached the part of your life yet, Tom?
Now they go to Stetson.
Yeah. Not quite the same. Have you reached the part of your life yet where you forgot that you did something and then somebody tells you about a thing and it reminds you that you did this thing? You would have never remembered. You'd have been on your deathbed and somebody would have been like, remember that time you went here? No. Oh, that's right. I did go there. Have you ever had that happen yet?
About life events of places I've been, I don't know. But just a few weeks ago on the show, you told me about an interaction I had with an intern based upon social media stuff, and I still don't remember.
Well, that's awesome. I remember it vividly.
I'm going to take your word for it.
It would be a weird thing for me to make up, first of all.
It would be very specific.
Yeah, it's very specific. And it would be something you would do. Think about you. You would do that. You would want to help them, but at the same time, you were annoyed by it. You were like, well, what's this person doing? What are we doing? You were trying to help them. You're like, listen, you need to scrub your social media accounts. You need to go back and take a look at what you've got posted there.
I don't remember that at all. It must have been that when I saw that, I was off it. I was like, all right, you're done.
That's exactly what happened. You saw first of all, you were very professional about it. It was a girl that was applying to be an intern with us. You were, probably 10 years older than her. You looked at her resume, just like everybody else's, right? And you were being responsible. Like, okay, well, what's this person like? What are they?
I went through every intern's social media for two reasons. Number one,
protect the company.
Number two, I made so many mistakes on social media.
Everybody did when they were in college.
Facebook was private. It was for college kids only.
Right.
And God, some of the things.
You did that and you saw something that left you uncomfortable. And then what I was impressed by, Tom, was that you didn't keep digging further and be like, oh, let's see if there's more. You stopped as soon as you saw the one and you're like, okay, well, that's it. And I need to tell this person about this.
Was it drugs? What was it?
No, don't worry about it.
Really?
I'll tell you when we go to break. But it was.
I think you meant to last time when we
forgot to do. But it was.
I've got no recollection.
You called me to tell me about it. You're like, oh, you're not going to believe this. I'm like, what? Really? Whoa.
That's probably when I was strung out because
strung out.
No, well,
you were tired.
Work strung out.
Tired, yeah.
Because they had the tower breaks every 5 minutes, and I'm driving out to Tram Road. It's probably with that period of life, period of my life.
Temple, by the way, is 3-1, 0-0 in the AAC. So here you go. I don't know why I feel like we should go to the Mohegan Sun. Oh, I didn't finish the reason I brought this up. You brought up Atlantis.
Yes, it was. Yeah, right.
I've been there. I went and swam and did a bunch of stuff at Atlantis, and I can't remember why. I have no idea why. I can specifically remember gambling, drinking, having a great time at Atlantis. I don't remember why I was there. I don't even know who I was with. True story.
I've always wanted to go because of the slide that goes through the shark infested
I
water.
did the slide that goes through the shark. It's overrated. It's a totally overrated place.
I just like how you got done saying, I had a great time. Don't remember who I was there with. Totally overrated.
Listen. There are lots of places to go have a good time at.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a good time if I'm gambling and drinking. That's going to be fun. And I did. But it's not what I thought it would be. You remember the old Atlantis ads where they were trying to get in touch? It looks like the greatest place of all time.
Yeah.
But then you get there, you're like, I don't know. Not that great. It's okay. It's okay. Right. There are better places to go.
Did you get there via cruise ship or did you fly?
Cruise ship.
I've never been on a cruise.
Well, now I'm going to talk to you about that too.
I don't think they're in my bag.
They're not your bag, and you wouldn't like them. And unless you're on a very expensive cruise, like if you do one of those kick-ass Viking things, where you go to Alaska or something like that, those are awesome. Your run-of-the-mill, poor-ass, sorry, herding of people for a couple $100. It's garbage. Just don't waste your time.
It's like 1/4 of the island is for Carnival, the other quarter is for Norwegian.
Yeah, don't do it. No.
Yeah, see, I've been to all-inclusive resorts. That's the way to do it.
Well, all-inclusive resorts are great, yeah.
And you could still do excursions if you so desire, but the all-inclusive resort is not on a ship, and I like that part of it.
When you're on the ship, it's a little bit, I don't want to get into this. I'll get myself in trouble. My opinions of the people on the ship and everything that happens there, it's just, you get herded, Tom. You feel like you're cattle. Oh, now we're here. Now it's your time to eat, fatties. Come on over here. It's ridiculous. The Owls lead the all-time series 3-1. However, these games, well, let's see.
How is soda not a part of the complimentary drink package?
Correct. That now you're on.
Tea is
now you're on to what I'm saying.
Complimentary, but not.
I asked a doctor on a cruise about the amount of coffee that I drink, and he was sitting next to me. See, this is the other problem. In some of these cruises, you're sitting with people you don't even know. I don't know this slappy sitting next to me.
When you have to put on a life jacket for I hear that. So everybody has to put on a life jacket and go report for safety?
I don't remember all that. I don't think so. I don't think that's true. Not that. I've been on more than one cruise, and no, I didn't have to do that for both of them. 3 of them. I've been on 3 cruises. I don't like them. Now, my dad has done the Alaskan cruise and all those and then once through Europe and all that. That's a different deal.
The skinnier the boat, the better the cruise.
Yeah, it's correct. It directly correlates with the fewer the people.
Right. That's right.
So we lost to Temple 2016 in the semifinals of the NIT tip-off at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That you do remember.
Yep. Nick was up there for that.
Yeah, and Temple rallied from 18 down to beat us 89-86. And we had 22 points from Dwayne Bacon. We had 19 points from Jonathan Isaac in that game. 2 NBA players on that roster, and we're blowing a 20. I mean, good Lord, we blew an 18-point lead with NBA guys. Man, there was a time, Tom, I'll just tell you this. Whenever I see Temple, and this is true of everything to do with Temple, it could be Temple football, it could be Temple baseball, could be Temple anything. All I ever think of when I think of Temple is John Chaney. Old John Chaney won 516 games there, 17 NCAA tournaments at Temple, 5 Elite Eights. They did well. They did well under Chaney. Then we face UMass. That is a former rival of A-10 Temple, by the way. And that's also when John Chaney lost his mind and went after John Calipari when he was coaching at UMass.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I love that I'm old and I can give these history lessons. I can remember these things. He went into the press conference. You son of a bitch. You remember that? He's sitting there having to hold him back. And Calipari's like, what in the hell? Man, college basketball was awesome then.
That was also all press conferences seemed to occur in a room that looked just like that. You know,
like you were being held hostage.
Yes. Yeah. The same thing with the Hal McRae press conference. Like, man, that room is pretty shaky. That's a major league room?
What are we doing in here? Man's got his feet up on the deck. I mean, on the
it looks like the assistant principal's office.
Yeah,
This doesn't look like
remember we slapped the thing with pencils?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like where you go in if you're going to take up a makeup test in the testing center, and they want a room with no windows.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
We're going to stuff you in that room.
Yeah.
I'll come back in 30 minutes to check on you.
So I would also say this. For those of you that want to win the Dex a Day giveaway, heads up, I forgot to mention, you can keep texting. Text, all of you. Get on your phones right now. Stop being lazy. Get in here and text away. It's Dex a Day giveaway. If you text DEXA to 850-386-8255, you could win a free DEXA scan plus a RMR analysis. So a metabolism test to measure calories burned at rest, calories needed to lose or gain weight, weight loss zone, calories to lose, all this true metabolism, all the good stuff, man. Giving it away today on the Jeff Cameron Show. Text DEXA, D-E-X-A, to 850-386-8255. That's DEXA to 850-386-8255.
Unlimited entries.
Unlimited entries. Like if you got 5 minutes, enter 15 times. Let's go. Just start doing it. I want you guys to increase your odds of winning. So if you're listening and this interests you, text it now, DEXA, 850-386-8255. Let's make it uncomfortable for the folks having to count these texts this hour. Like 150 texts. Let's go. Let's get after it. Also, I don't know what we're going to do for first down. I don't know what we're going to do for second down, third down, fourth down. But Red Zone is coming up here in just a moment. And we actually think we got a chance to win tomorrow. This whole week has snuck past us without us even really talking about Charleston Southern, because why would we? Why would we? Well, we are playing tomorrow. And it is a home football weekend with gloriously gorgeous weather. And it starts tonight with the 5 o'clock happy hour at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. And it continues over to tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., the studio pregame show, myself and Tom Lang, followed by the meet and greet at Hotel Indigo at 11 a.m. We're there till just about kickoff, 1 o'clock. Of course, kickoff's 1:30 because we suck and we play at weird times now. So 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Hotel Indigo. And I can only imagine how gorgeous it's going to be atop Hotel Indigo. That cool, cold even breeze coming through. Come on, man.
Piping hot registers as well with a cold beverage. Yeah, buddy.
Let's do it. Should be fun. Text DEXA, D-E-X-A, to 850-386-8255. Let's go with the Red Zone here in just a moment. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Know your body and transform your life with DexaFit Tallahassee, your go-to for science-backed health insights. Their DEXA scan gives you the most accurate body composition available, measuring bone density, muscle mass, and both subcutaneous and visceral fat. Get the data you need to track progress and make real changes. Your VO2 max is the best indicator of health and longevity, but it offers more than just a number. It shows respiratory function, calories burned at different intensities, and whether your body burns fat or carbs, helping you train smarter. DexaFit's RMR test reveals how many calories you burn at rest and the type of fuel your body uses, so you can dial in your diet for weight loss, muscle gain, or maintenance. And their red light therapy soothes sore muscles, reduces inflammation, and rejuvenates your skin. Right now, get a DEXA scan and red light therapy for just $99. That's a $184 value. Call 850-510-7728 or visit DexaFit Tallahassee's website to book. Know your body and transform your life this fall with DexaFit.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Infinity of Tallahassee. Here's something to think about during the holidays. The highly acclaimed, award-winning 2025 Infinity QX80 SUV. It gets a lot of people wanting to test drive one, simply because they heard about the Clips reference stereo system. But guess what? Once they drive this high-tech wonder, they forget all about the surround sound. And it's easy to see why, because this Infinity is loaded with technology and comfort, including luxury upholstery, heated and cooled first and second row seats, a huge touchscreen, blind spot monitoring, optional four-wheel drive, and that's just for starters. How about 2 rows of massaging seats, a refrigerated center console, and much more than you can possibly imagine. So remember, the wait is over. At Infinity of Tallahassee, step up to individual audio, biometric cooling, Infinity Light Path, and ProPilot 2.1. Not sure what any of that is? Just stop by and let us show you. You'll see for yourself why the new QX80 is one of the hottest and most desirable new vehicles of 2025. Infinity of Tallahassee on Mayhem Drive.
This is Alex from Farmers. Are you looking for that hard-to-find person on your Christmas list? At Farmers, we are loaded down with one-of-a-kind items. Vintage guitars, pre-owned tools, electronics. Did you know we carry Louis Vuitton purses, bags, and wallets? Farmers has a large selection of new and pre-owned firearms. And don't forget about our large selection of gold and silver jewelry, all discounted at 50% off. At Farmers, we make your dollars go further. Shop early for the best selection, and don't forget to ask about our great layaway plan. Farmers Pawn, 2 times more than you might expect, with 2 great locations. This is Alex from Farmers. We've been buying gold and silver jewelry, fine watches, and other collectibles for over 45 years. But did you know Farmers buys and sells gold and silver coins, bars, and bullion? Don't get scammed online or pay high shipping and handling fees. Call or stop by Farmers for a quick and easy quote. No matter if you're new to investing in bullion or have been collecting a lifetime, Farmers is your local source for buying, selling gold and silver coins and bullion. Farmers, more than you might expect, with 2 great locations.
Official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you got to make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Why choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. And Cyber Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Got to do it. Obviously, we're talking about first down, second down, third down, fourth down. Let's go for the red zone. We got this week and next. Really, red zone exists year-round. And, man, are we in the midst of trying to figure out what to do with each of these because the games have gotten crazy. Not in a good way. Not in a good way. But our friends, Artisan Financial Strategy, NoelRetirement.com. You need to figure these things out. Can't be willy-nilly with retirement. You gotta know, like, hey, do I have enough money? I don't want to run out of money. Gotta make sure I've got plans in place. You got places you want to go, people you want to see, securing your legacy, protecting yourself against rising healthcare costs, all those kinds of things. That's what you want to do. Cue it up, Tommy. Let's do this thing.
Welcome to the majesty.
Every freaking rep.
The elegance.
To win the game. Oh, he hits the upright. It's no good.
You have entered.
Someone burned down the funeral home. You burnt the funeral home.
Lives will be changed.
Sideline. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
Mothers will cry.
When you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough.
Legacies are etched into eternity.
I know who I am.
North. South Dakota was his brother from West Virginia.
This is the Red Zone.
That's good to know. And away we we go. Again, make sure you go to NoelRetirement.com. Protect you and your family against rising healthcare costs. NoelRetirement.com. Plan those future days. His team, Adam Tolliver, and his team, I should say, at Artisan Financial Strategies, best in the business. They've been awesome to us. They've been great to work with. Many of you have reached out to them. It's a smart thing to do. It's pretty simple, too. It's straightforward. Go to NoelRetirement.com. Get that free assessment when you sign up in the email. You're all good to go. Love it. Love it. First down. What do we got?
Over under 14.5 carries for Lawrence Toafili tomorrow.
I'm going to go over. I think it's going to be at 15, right around 15. Right. Come on, Lawrence. Have you a day, young man. Have you a day.
Over under 192.5 rushing yards for Florida State tomorrow.
Over 192?
And a half.
Over.
Okay.
Over.
Yeah, I think they're going to be
in the 200s. Yeah,
quite simple.
They're going to run the ball
tomorrow. More pass attempts. Brock Glenn, Luke Kromenhawk.
Brock Glenn.
Okay. All right. Yes or no?
It's fourth down.
Yeah, we're going fast here. It's going to be like the post-game show tomorrow.
Tempo, baby. Tempo. Let's go.
Trevor Jackson. Does he play?
Yes.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yes.
All right. I like it.
So that's an easy win. That's a first down on first down. That's a first down on second down. That's a first down on third down. That's a first down on fourth down, baby. Let's go.
All right. Team total. Bonus down. Bonus down. Team total for Florida State. I mean, really try on this one. Not just I'm going to throw a prediction out there. Like really 35.5 team total. Over or under for Florida State?
Over.
Okay. You like that 33 number that Vegas is floating around? Mm-hmm. You think they're doing it for a reason?
Yeah, I do. Over. I like it. I think they're going to win the game fairly comfortably. I think there'll be some uncomfortable moments where we're like, really? We're going to do this here, guys? Because you got to want to tackle. You got to want to be assignment sound against the option.
North Alabama, how this all kind of started.
Oh, buddy.
How cool did it feel, both literally with temperature and figuratively? We stood on the 7th floor deck of Hotel Indigo watching the senior day announcements because you can peer and see on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
The old Jumbotron that you got painted. You can see the ceremony, and we're thinking, man, how cool is this? We are back in this conversation. Listen to that crowd go nuts. I remember that Mastro was honored, and I was thinking, whoa, is he leaving? That's not cool.
Right.
And it was just in case he wasn't coming back. And then it all fell to pieces about 30 minutes later, along with Jordan's leg.
Oh, and he felt compelled to run because we couldn't get anything going.
Correct.
It was embarrassing what we were the situation we were in. Listen, now this is the thing. It's not revisionist. It is a conversation we had in the midst of the success last year. I broached this yesterday. I know that there will be pushback for it, but if you're a regular listener to the Jeff Cameron Show, you know I was not in love with the defensive staff last year, even in the midst of success. And from the first game of the year on, I complained about our inability to win first down or run the ball when we wanted to run the ball. And, you know, by the end of the year, the ugliness of this offense and some of the weaknesses of this offense were being exposed. They were exposed before Jordan Travis got hurt. I mean, we couldn't do anything against Clemson, against a real defense. Couldn't do anything.
The Pitt game was a slog.
Oh.
If not for, was it Cypress running down a long would-be touchdown?
Oh, yeah. It caused, yes, that was huge. Yeah. That felt like that could have been the loss, right? That play changed the game. Yeah, man, there were issues last year in the midst of an undefeated run. Luckily, we got to play A, an ACC schedule, B, a bunch of backup quarterbacks, and C, had a bunch of NFL talent that began to play at an elite level defensively in the second half of the season. So it was a nice marriage of good against bad and injured. And then, of course, you know, you're in this league. So it helps. You know, you're not going on the road to face Ole Miss and then turning around and going on the road and facing Arkansas and then coming home and facing, you know, Alabama and then going on the road to face LSU. Or so, you're not doing that. You don't get exposed as much in this league. Now, again, I take issue with the the ACC, I mean, the SEC is just always better than everybody else, and the games don't matter. No. The SEC is a better conference. It's not close. It is a better conference, but the games matter, and the results have to matter.
And last year it was as fallible as it's been the last 10 years, and yet it didn't matter for reputation purposes.
Yeah.
Even though the record was the record.
Yeah, there were moments where you would absolutely, like I did it this year. I've got a good friend who's all SEC all the time, and he was talking about, look how much
conference T-shirt like that.
No, he doesn't chant SEC. It's just that when we get into debates about teams, he's going to always side with the SEC teams. And I said, look, that's fair. I think it's a better league. I know it's a better league than the ACC. That's not really what we're arguing. But some years there's a little bit more nuanced discussion than you're willing to have, is what I was saying to him. And he's like, well, look at even this year, Jeff. I mean, Vanderbilt's good. I'm like, yeah, we lost to Georgia Southern. Georgia State, sorry.
Even worse.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, hold on. I said, look, I don't think Florida's great, and I know Miami beat the brakes off of them in Gainesville. Now, again, for all of these, we can do a retort, and you can say, well, Georgia's not even close to the best team that they've had, and they made Clemson look like fools. And, yeah, that's true. And we're not any good, and, yeah, this isn't that year to have that debate. I'm just saying, like, you have to go case by case. You got to go schedule by schedule, and you got to say there are some years that are certainly better than others. But I do think that where we caught a break last year is we got a bunch of average teams who were on their backup quarterback, and that did mask some of the issues we may have ended up having in some of those games because there was no real threat the other team was going to score a lot at all. A, we had a really good defense with a lot of talent, and they were playing well, and B, we were playing some pretty average offenses.
You could just feel it with that defensive line. They were pretty good for the bulk of the season.
Yeah.
They were really good against LSU because LSU thought that they had to commit 2 bodies to Verse and they could handle Fisk one-on-one, and that quickly went out the door. But from that Florida game to the Louisville game, that stretch of 8 quarters, that's about as much joy as I've ever had watching Florida State play defensively. And I'm including 2013 in that equation. They were just,
buddy, that 2013 NC State game.
That game. I hear you, but like that front was unbelievable. Like it's because of the scheme too, a little bit. The 2012 front was more fun to watch at times because it's 4 down. It's simpler to watch. But man, they knew they had to for Florida. They knew they had to.
Oh, they had to win the game
Louisville.
for us, yeah.
And they were nothing short of perfect.
They were perfect. I think the Louisville performance is unbelievable, given that is a well-coached offense that had a bunch of success, and Brahm's a good coach, and we really emasculated that group.
They honored the best of 2013, the spirit that team had.
I agree with that.
With the way they played those 2 games.
Yeah.
It was just different, and it was. I really wish they could have lost, and I understand
I think
that.
they would have. Yeah,
I know you do. Like they could have lost 20-14, in the first round of the playoffs. But you know what that defensive front would have done? It would have made us so proud to watch them play those top 4 teams, the top 3 teams.
Yeah, and they would have given you a chance to win each time they took the field.
Look at what they're doing now on Sundays.
Oh, yeah. No, it would have given you a chance to win. There's no doubt. My friends at Tried and True Consulting, you hear me talk about them an awful lot, and it's for good reason. They're doing great things in the community. They're also doing things that help make you money and save you money. The Tried and True ad program still going on right now. Much needed boost for your business and exposure as well. Your company, their services. You can reach more people than you are, and they'll help you do it. In fact, they'll even provide the television, put it up in your office, wherever it might be, if it's a restaurant, if it's a waiting room at a dentist's office or something like that, perhaps a car lot, any place you have a waiting room and available wall space, they'll do it. And we want you to be reminded that Don, Joe, and Rusty are awaiting your call right now. They'll give 10% of their net revenue to the Battle's Inn. The Battle's Inn, all of us, hoping that group is part of the solution as we move forward, because Tom wants us to bring in 50 new people.
That's right. Nothing short of it. Well, 50 new people factors in the recruiting class, so I guess we only need 40 transfers.
I was going to say 40 transfers then. Call them today, 844-463-6653. That is 844-463-6653. One more people signing up with my friends at Tried and True Consulting. I should also note that, how we always talk about the fact that they're doing good things in the community. They were at Barrel Proof Lounge yesterday having a little happy hour for people just in the community. Just, hey, hanging out. Come on in, swing in. They're going to make it a regular thing. A little Thirsty Thursday.
Oh, well, that's dangerous.
Well, you got to be responsible, but yeah.
I know. It's tough, because then it leads into Libations Friday.
Oh, sure. It's the heavy season, Tom. I know how it works.
Yeah.
It can happen. It can easily
In
get
my
away from you.
You didn't even have to say Thursday. You said thirsty. Yeah,
yes,
let's go.
Yes,
where are we
let's
going?
make it happen. There we go. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. As I want to do, I look out for your comfort, everybody. You know that, and I've told you for weeks that the cure to what ails you is over at Manscaped. Manscaped.com, promo code Warchant, of course. But you need the salve so the boys are comfortable. Listen, being comfortable is a year-round endeavor. It's not just when it's hot outside. It's not just when there's the potential for rash or chafing, as they like to say. No, it's year-round. Get you the underwear. Get you the salve. Get you the balm. Get you the cream. Get you the nose hair clippers. Get you everything you need to trim and keep proper. There's the crop preserver. There's the stuff that helps you out with every part of your body, not just down there. Go to manscaped.com right now, and if you use the promo code WARCHANT, you'll get 20% off. You really can't beat that. I'm saving you a ton of money. Promo code is WARCHANT for 20% off. Plus, by the way, fellas, free shipping to boot. So there's no reason not to go and check it out and find out how it is that you can look right and feel great year-round, no matter what. Every day you leave that house, you say, I'm buttoned up. The boys are comfortable. I'm ready to go. Manscaped.com, promo code WARCHANT, 20% off plus free shipping. Can't beat it.
Mortgage Corporation. Investors, are you looking for a creative way to purchase your next rental property? Are you looking to get into the Airbnb space? If so, you need to know about DSCR loans. It stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. These are loans that do not require traditional income verification. As long as the proposed rent covers the mortgage payment on the subject property, that's the only income you need. If you're looking at investing and don't know if you can qualify, let's set up a plan to get your next income producing property and start putting you on a path to passive income. Give me a call at 954-369-6171. And don't forget, every fellow Knoll that we close a loan for, I will personally make a donation of $250 to the Battle's End. It's Shannon Young at 954-369-6171.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 373033.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
My bets that we've added since yesterday, I always like to, Tom, you're going to have to start bringing the hockey to the table.
Yeah, I know. I got to fire up the machine. We can do that, though. I was really sad to see that Obi's out for an extended period
4 to
of time.
6 weeks.
Yeah, man.
Had to go to Germany to find out he had a broken leg. Come on, Obi. Let's see here. We did over 41 Bucks Giants. We did over 51 Ravens Chargers. We did over 56.5 rushing yards for Tyrone Tracy in that game against the Bucks. We did Mike Evans over 52 yards receiving. We did DeAndre Hopkins over 43 yards receiving. You can jot those down if you want. A little 3-bet teaser pleaser with the Texans down to $1.50, Commanders at -4, and the Eagles up to +3. Did a second teaser pleaser this morning, Tom. Another 3-better. Lions +1, Commanders -2, Chiefs -3 for that one. Under 57. That's Pittsburgh and Louisville.
Wait a
Already
minute.
talked about those.
So you need my bets? Why? That's a full Rolodex right there.
Yeah, we're rolling, big. Yeah, we're rolling. We had a
I've been quite
start this
good.
week.
It's been a few weeks on the player props for NFL games. I usually play the Bucks because you get to tell the story of the game, the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, Rachaad White's rushing total is very, very low. I don't believe he's on the injury report.
What's it at?
36.5. That's really low.
You know, for about the better part of a year and a half, you could rake on his reception yards, but Vegas is now really attuned to that.
And I think there is a greater commitment to Bucky Irving getting more touches, but
there should be.
If you notice, anytime Bucky has a good drive, Rachaad responds.
Oh, I love the competition.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying here in this situation, especially if you think the Bucs are going to be ahead, they're going to distribute the football on the ground to multiple guys. 36.5 is light. They got Bucky over 50. We're going Rachaad White over 50. Let alone
Look
36.
at you, buddy. Look at you sprinkling in. All right. We'll monitor your bet, Tom. I'm glad you brought one to the table today.
One.
Over 50, huh? Okay. The Giants game.
It's plus 165.
Here's the problem with the Bucs-Giants game. You know and I know. Bucs off a bye. Giants have a coach that some people think is on the outs. They're starting their third-string quarterback. So what does that mean? We're tied at 20 late in the fourth.
Right. Yeah.
That's you and me going, are you kidding me with this nonsense? We've seen it, by the way, very specifically with the Bucs and the Giants. It was Danny Dimes looking like the next coming of Steve Young.
That was after a first half in which the Tampa Bay Buccaneers scored on every possession.
Still mad about all that.
And then they scored late, and Danny Dimes responds, and then they get it down inside the 20-yard line. We take a delay of game, and Matt Gay misses the walk-off field goal.
Yeah, and now he's Mr. Consistency, by the way.
And Bruce Arians' response was, well, we took the delay of game because he kicks it better from longer distances. He's more accurate from greater distances.
I forgot about how ridiculous that was. We were furious. Yeah.
I believe we left the field that day with a timeout. I think we did.
There were lots of things about game management he didn't understand. Oddly enough, for a guy who's had as much success as he did, I might add, in the NFL in his career, that was very strange. And he's one of the reasons that we talked about for years that you, me, and many other people that we know and trust who love sports and pay attention could tell you that, hey, listen, I'll do a better job of game management at the end of games. Just six figures. Give me $100,000. I'm there. I'll make sure you never botch your timeouts, down, distance, score. I got you.
95 grand. There you go. Done. You can find something to do the other, 6 months of the year.
Yeah, infuriating. It was infuriating. Still something to think about, by the way. It's you see it every week. I can't imagine in a sport, like when you watch baseball, the almost everything, and I've learned a lot in the last 5 years, not just by studying what teams are using as far as advanced metrics, what they pay attention to, what goes into the scouting report and why. I now know just from various baseball podcasts that are done by former managers, former players, there's a lot of good stuff out there. It's a great time to be a fan. If you're a fan of any sport, you live in the best time possible to be a fan, because you can learn so much about what goes into the decisions in any game, why the game plan was what it was, what a certain play is intended to do. It could be anything, but it's out there. It's fully vetted. I say that to say this. How these ends of game situations continue to play out as they do, where guys get it so wrong so frequently, defies logic in an era where everything is as buttoned up as it's ever been.
I guarantee you that the cost of whatever little extension they put on a bench to create shade for the players is more money than your car, because it probably has cooling elements and it's got the latest technology in terms of energy efficiency and they might be able to pump some stuff electrically into the bench itself to cool that or heat it as needed. So a franchise will drop, let's just say that's worth $60,000 into that system so that you've got 4 benches that are climate controlled and also block the sun. And you can't spend a couple extra bucks on a quality control coach who's going to tell you timeouts work here. If you've got a guy that buzzes into the coach's headset and tells you 4th and 2 from the opposing 38 with 3 minutes to go in a 4-point game is to do X, Y, and Z, or better yet, a 3-point game. That's a better example. Then why wouldn't you have a guy who says, timeout here, we're going to gain 8 seconds?
Yeah. And everybody listening to this does it at home every Sunday, every Saturday, and gets it right. Yesterday at the end of the show, I referenced Stu Sternberg and the Rays. By the way, a follow-up on that story, which I find to be one of the most fascinating in all of sports right now. Obviously, the Rays' future is in doubt in St. Pete. The Rays say the stadium project is dead. Nobody knows why they keep saying that. They just say that because they want it to be true. St. Pete City Council yesterday morning approved the $23 million to repair the Trop's roof, okay? But the Rays, after that morning session, again came out and said that the long-term deal is dead. And nobody understands why they keep saying that. They delayed the vote, Pinellas County did. So they're saying the long-term deal is done. Well, at that point, the committee said, well, if you're saying the deal's dead, then we're not going to give you the $23 million for the roof. What's the point of fixing it if you're leaving no matter what? And they have no reason, the Rays have no reasons to say that Pinellas County rejected the bonds. They're going to vote on that December the 17th. And if they do, the city council will reconvene on January the 9th, the way I understand, the way it read today, and decide whether or not to repair the Trop's roof and pass the bonds. My favorite part of yesterday, and I've always waited for this, is the city council said, oh, and by the way, since you keep saying publicly, for some reason we don't understand, just because we delayed the vote, you keep saying that the deal is dead. Well, if you believe that the deal is dead, because we haven't said that it is, and you want to opt out of the deal, please send us the letter of termination. Please officially put it to paper that you think that this deal is done. We no longer, you're opting out of a deal that's already been agreed to. You have decided, then therefore, send us the letter of termination that you're opting out of this deal, okay? They didn't do that, did they? No, because they were grandstanding, because they were never going to do that. The deal is sweet for them with all the stuff with the land and everything that they get with this deal.
I'm still of the mind that you can have the prettiest setup imaginable in St. Pete. It's not going to do what they want it to do. Well, and I know they've reduced capacity and all this kind of stuff.
But remember, that land is worth so much, and they have the whole gas district thing that they're going to do, right? All of that. Okay, they're going to do that regardless. They're going to do it whether you play baseball there or not.
Right.
That's all going to happen, right? That renders attendance somewhat moot. They're going to make their money. They own all that land. So they don't need 25,000 a night. They can have 15,000.
I know. It's just, but listen to what we're talking about. Attendance that's worse than a Lightning hockey game. It's never going to work in that geographical location. You have to put it in North Tampa. If you're going to be the Tampa Bay Rays, you have to have access to Orlando. You got to have access to all those counties north of.
It's in a tough spot. I don't love the spot, but if they renovate that area and make it you have to be there. It's going to be awesome. You have all this other. I mean, have you seen what the plans are for that area?
They'll do decent business for people who travel from other fan bases, but they're their own. It's just, you know that area better than I do in terms of how hard it is to get in and out of there, especially for game traffic.
It's not easy. It's a nightmare. Yeah.
And there's 81 of these.
I just hate that the argument has always been between Tampa and St. Pete, and St. Pete grew up in a hurry, and Tampa resents it. Now all of a sudden St. Pete's the cooler city, and it's all, you just watch these two places go back and forth. It drives me nuts.
I would rather spend a weekend in St. Pete than Tampa.
Yeah.
Yes. Different conversation.
Yeah.
Just what's better for a sporting event? Yeah, Tampa's better. Tampa's far better. It's also closer to that airport. That matters too.
Well, it may not matter at all because they may leave.
Yeah. He wants to leave. That's what this is.
Well, he wants to leave.
And he's using hurricane disaster
which makes him a piece of garbage. Yeah. But also, I don't know that he's going to be able – look, baseball, Manfred has already said he wants baseball in the Tampa – you don't want to lose the market, Tampa St. Pete. The cities continue to grow. That is a money area. Now, we'll see if that continues, given how frequently they're getting hit by hurricanes these days. But Manfred doesn't want them to leave. So you're going to have – now, Manfred is also weak, didn't step in with Oakland, let it all go down. That situation's a disaster. But, see, they're trying to hold off until expansion.
Yes, it's also when you're the commissioner, you're operating at the behest of the other owners. They see a cash cow in Las Vegas. They see opportunity as a group in Las Vegas versus Oakland. And that is where everything you're demographically, economically, that's where owners get so cold that you start to use words about those owners. Now, I don't know that moving out of Tampa is the same thing as moving out of Oakland, especially when you could see basically where the A's played if you were sitting in Pac Bell Ballpark, whatever it's called these days in San Fran. They don't have a Tampa franchise and then a St. Pete franchise.
Right.
If it was that case, I'll bet you that the rest of the owners would say, Manfred, step out of the way. Sternberg needs to leave, and he should. But you need that market.
They're trying to hold off because baseball wants to expand. They're stuck in the same situation that the NHL was with hockey or that the NBA is as well. So, like when you want to add teams, you can't have owners pulling out of one major market and then going to exploit another market that, by the way, you were going to give a team to in 2 years from now. So, like, you may want to go to Nashville. We were already going to give a team to Nashville. You can't go to Nashville. That screws us. So, what I think will happen if they leave, if they do leave, Manfred will announce that a new team's going to St. Pete or Tampa.
It could be. Yeah. But it's the power play. You will know how the other owners stand based upon what Manfred says if he tries to squeeze him out with public pressure. Like, sell the team. And sell the team, Stu. Plus, it's always been this albatross around your neck. You've been wearing it on the balance sheet, according to him.
Well, he's not. They've continued. They make money. He wouldn't continue to own the team if they didn't. They make tons of money. Did I not break properly? Were we supposed to break?
No, you have.
Okay. I just saw the look on your face like Jeff's may have. Oh, okay. I'm not looking at the chat. My apologies. All right, here we go. Let's talk about what we got here. South Florida Noel. Happy Friday, gentlemen. Just want to thank you and the rest of the Warchant staff for your hard work. Go Noles. Well, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. We thank you for hanging in there with us, man.
We're almost there to metamorphosis season.
Baseball?
No, for us. Florida State. We'll see if all change is good. We'll put that to the test, but there's going to be a lot of change.
I can't tell you how excited I am to see spring football. It sounds crazy.
It does.
But I am. I don't want to fast forward through the fun stuff that's going to happen now as we've got the end of college football and pro football for this year. I'll be invested. I am invested every week anyhow. The bigger story gets told, whether we're a part of it or not. I get all of that. I'm certainly not going to try to race through an upcoming Florida State baseball season that should be awesome. I like that. I think we're a little bit feisty on the basketball court this year. Not great, but we have an outside shot of being a tournament team. So, okay, I'll watch that. Let's see if you can fight and claw your way to making the NCAA tournament, Leonard, on your way out the door. That's cool.
Give me a couple of 63-60s. Winning efforts, ugly. You shoot 39% from the field, but the opponent shot 38.7%. And we went to the line 6 more times, and we hit 3 more free throws. That was the difference. So Leonard could sit down at his press conference and say, just another ACC blowout. As Florida State upsets number 20 ranked, whatever, team in our conference.
Hog Watcher, come on, man. That makes me laugh that you say that. You know better. Every time Jeff says he's not looking at the chat, I just bow my head and feel deflated. I can't stare at the chat the whole. I got to conduct the show.
It's poison.
It distracts you. It keeps you from doing a show.
Yeah, that's not a knock on you. Wonderful chatters
at all. In fact, I really appreciate. Today was especially tough because we had this setup that we normally have. I can look straight ahead and still see the chat a lot of times. And especially if there's a question that we needed to get to or something like that. But this camera broke, which I think just turned back on, by the way, which I'm curious. Yeah, I'm sure it's working now. But anyhow, so I couldn't see it because the chat's over here now. And then I just happened to glance, especially after you.
Also, you got to come up in the world if you're in the chat to get the host's attention, because it moves too fast. There's too much going on. And boy, if you were staring at the chat and doing the show, you should try that for one segment. Everybody leave. They'd be like, oh, never mind. Don't look at us.
Yeah, no. Isn't it normally a conversation amongst each other of about whatever our situation?
Usually, yes. Oh, I don't mean that I'm just saying that if you tried to read it while doing a show, it's impossible. Like, especially, that's why we have producers for a lot of our live programming, like separate producers, that, like Director Matthew was, like Director Ben is.
Can I tell you how great it will be if late Saturday night, after we've had the game and Florida State got back in the win column and you and Gene did the post-game show afterwards, and we could move on. You know, you got one game left. You can see the finish line. Yeah. If I sat down and was to pop a cold beer and I don't know, I'll cook a steak for my dad. He's in town this weekend. I'll get the family grill. We'll all do the stuff. And I watch Army in a game at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx against Notre Dame, and we're tied in the second half. Could I get that? Could we get that lucky?
Hey, man, they're capable of losing into Northern Illinois.
I know,
it's
but
the worst loss of any one-loss team that's in the contention right now.
Yeah, they've been really good since, though. I'm just
Is Army better than Northern Illinois? I say yes.
Okay, well, that's fine. It's a ball control game. You got to possess the ball to keep it away from Notre Dame, because Notre Dame will expose your lack of size and lack of speed if they have the ball. But you're right. If Army can put together, muster first downs, they got a shot. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you who's got a shot. Kansas has a shot to beat Colorado. There's a bunch of games. You're loving that Arizona State game.
They're favorites. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I was on the public side. Whoops.
Yeah. Good work out of you. Happy hour, 5 o'clock, Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. pregame show, 11 a.m. at Hotel Indigo. Until then, peace.